10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Music, please.
Beautiful.
I hear you, baby.
The most tremendous new musical experience.
Beautiful.
I hear you, baby.
Are we on the air?
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are we rolling? Can you hear me now?
Yep, ready?
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
You know me. I've been around forever.
I know him. I know him.
This is the Tony Bruno Show. Here he is, the godfather of sports radio. Here's Tony Bruno.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello there, my childrens. And remember these infamous words that we heard so many times around not only here in Southwest Florida, the city of Philadelphia, my hometown, but around the world. 3 words, remember, not 4 words, 3.
Everybody must eat.
Yes.
Everybody must
Everybody.
eat. Everybody must eat.
Damn right. Everybody must eat. Plus, we also must poop and what else? To sleep, urinate. Pretty much, right, Robin? I mean, aren't those the things that you just have to do? You have to eat. You have to sleep. You have to
Don't
drink.
forget breathing.
Well, breathing. I mean, if you stop breathing, then you have to go to a hospital.
That one's kind of important.
Well, no. People will say you have to pay taxes, but you really don't. You know what I'm saying? You have to die eventually. We all will. So you got to eat, sleep, poop, pee. What else? Drink water. Stay hydrated, too, before you die and lose your breath and anything else. Anyway, that's what's going on. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight. Unbelievable. Baseball, the final weekend. And we've got obviously great teams doing great things and bad teams who are supposed to be good becoming bad teams and spending this weekend pouring one out for one another. We have our first firing in Major League Baseball. The San Francisco Giants, my boy Gabe Kapler, they couldn't wait till Sunday night to fire the guy. They're playing the Dodgers. I know the Dodgers beat them and eliminated them from the playoffs. But you know me, I'm no Giant hater or Dodger fan or any of that stuff. Why would you fire Gabe Kapler on a Friday with a couple of games to go in the season? That's ridiculous, don't you think? Although the good news is he'll get time to prepare and get the chaps and the dog masks to appear at the Folsom Fair this weekend in San Francisco.
Maybe
Yes.
they ran out of coconut oil. I don't
know if he was using coconut, because it's chilly and San Francisco, we both do. Actually, we're going into the warmest month of the year in San Francisco, which is October, right?
October and November. 2 of the warmest months of the year, yes.
In San Francisco. But anyway, we've got a lot of stuff. So we got the Braves clinching, obviously, home field now throughout the playoffs. They've been unbelievable, 103 wins. They swept the Cubs. Orioles clinched the American League. To me, the Orioles are the story of the year. We knew the Atlanta Braves were good. We knew the Dodgers would be good. Right? I mean, you look at the other. We thought the Mets would be good. We thought the Yankees would be good. The San Diego Padres were supposed to be good. And by the way, those 3 teams, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Padres, had the 3 highest payrolls in baseball. And you know what they're doing this weekend? Well, in San Diego, I don't think it's raining, so they don't have to worry about it out there. But let's go to New York City. And basically, this is a picture of what's happening to the Mets, the Yankees, and we now can add in, even though we're only 3 weeks into the season, the New York Jets. Let's go to the tape, Robin, of New York City. This is what you're not going to have to pour one out, because if you pour one out, there won't be anywhere for the water or the alcohol or anything to go. Let's go to the tape. There it is. There's New York City. Let's see where the Mets and the Yankees and the Jets are going right now. Where is it? Where's the big hole? Where's the water?
It's there, right in the middle.
Oh, I see it. There it is. Right down the drain. Bam! Right down the drain. Listen, I don't root against people. I love New York. And it's a beautiful city. But is that climate change? Or is that the result of a hurricane? And I don't know if you saw it. The follow-up on this video is that even in the subways, the rain is pouring in everywhere. It's leaking everywhere. Oh, man. But the good news is New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, saying that, this is a bad situation. And even though we're overrun with migrants and we're a sanctuary city, even though we don't want them here anymore, we have to take them because we told everybody we're a sanctuary city. He has convinced the migrants that if they could jump the turnstiles in all of the New York City subways, they can get themselves a free shower. So that's the try. You want to make people feel happy. When people are being crammed into hotel rooms and the conditions aren't, look at that. Where else can you go into the subway and get yourself a fresh, clean shower? Look how clean that water is. Unlike the water in Meatball's bathtub here in Philadelphia. Now, I played a little meatball. Meatball, I love meatballs, Robin. Meatballs are life, right? Who doesn't love meatballs? Robin even likes the meatballs at IKEA. With the lingonberry sauce and the gravy, the brown gravy. Yeah. New York City has the best restaurants in the country.
Now, for those of you who have not heard, if
you haven't heard about this story, and listen, as a Philadelphia guy, born and raised there, it was a weird week for Philadelphia. First of all, the Eagles, who got out of the gate slowly, but they won their third straight game, and they're playing again Friday to try to go. How many games will that be? 4! If they can win Friday against the Washington Deadskins, they could be 4-0, which is amazing. But you have a situation where you've got the Phillies clinching a wild card, clinching the home field in the wild card round, playoffs for the second straight year. The Eagles, looking good on national TV. So the teams that used to represent all that was bad in Philadelphia, the bad fans and the craziness, the Phillies and the Eagles were the only good thing to come out of Philadelphia this past week. Then it started then the guy took an alligator into a Phillies game, and I don't blame him. I mean, you take an alligator into a Phillies game, as Luigi has done many times. He's taken a couple of wild animals into the Phillies game, but they usually sit up in the upper deck.
Alligator in a Phillies game, that's a crock of shit, Tony. What are you talking about, man? Come on. What are you talking about? Yeah, they need to scale it back, Ridiculous, man.
Now, my sisters are there. My family's there. My nephews.
Yeah. The only alligators I brought in Assistance Bank Park were on pimp night, and they were on my feet. That's about it, brother.
Gator? Anyway, so Luigi joins us from Philly. Luigi, did you get to go to Lululemon and get some new, what do we call them, Rod? Yoga pants? Did you pick yourself up some fresh kicks at Snipes?
No. But the J. Crew across the street was wide open. That's where I was, brother. That's where I was. I got this nice jacket. Corduroy's coming back. I got this nice jacket.
Oh, yeah. Winter is coming.
I got you guys something, too. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, did you pick me up something? Yeah. Did you go to the state stores? Because, in Pennsylvania, it's one of, I think, 2 states. Oregon and Pennsylvania, I think, are still the only 2 states where the alcohol sales are controlled by the state. Now, you can buy beer and wine in other stores now. Yeah. As, the blue laws are finally starting to ease a little bit. But when it comes to hard liquor, you still have to go.
But the funny thing was, though, is that you know that no white person was involved because they left Prosecco out there.
Exactly. Now, listen, there was someone. Now, they're showing for the first time in decades, the Philadelphia police has actually started arresting people and putting mugshots on the internet.
No.
You see that? Yeah. You don't see the mugshots? There's one dude who broke into what's it called? High Beauty. The store was called High Beauty.
You mean the kind of place that sells wigs?
Yeah, the wigs
hair products and stuff.
So this brother goes into a store and doesn't steal any wigs or stuff, and he's got the LeBron thing going. We have to spray it or put when they put that. Remember, Buddy Ryan used to spray the hair on, and you fill the loose. Now you got a full head of hair now, Luigi. Yeah. But, Some men would like put a thing over their head and then squeeze it and fill it in so it looked like it was full. You know what I'm saying?
Spray can? Spray hair?
Yeah, the spray on here.
Hair in a can.
Exactly.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Because I will say this right now. Because any woman making fun of a man doing anything like that is bullshit. Because that face ain't yours and neither of those tits, most likely. All right? So I don't want to hear
Hey, listen,
Hey.
different strokes, so to
Now,
speak.
speaking to hair,
Not tits, hair.
I
I
just
you,
cut
Robin.
my
I didn't say
look.
you got beautiful hair. Robin has beautiful
Like I
Look
cut
at
off.
this.
Hold on, hold
This
on.
is breaking news. This
I
is
did.
breaking news, ladies
Robin,
and
did you
gentlemen.
cut your hair, Robin?
I did.
Well, she didn't cut it. She went to the.
I took.
to the
Well,
stud.
I'm very blessed with
Beautiful hair. She had
long, thick
beautiful
hair, and it grows very, very fast.
You got a
And
line.
so, since I've known you, Luigi, I think I've donated at least 3 times. This
Yes.
is the 4th time. So this is 10 inches of
That's
hair.
10 inches? Are they separate or is it,
I
they
got-
put
I
them
got a-
together?
Well,
I got a different variation of 10 inches.
Here, let me check. Let me make sure that's 10 inches. I got to measure. Let's go. I'm going to throw the red flag on Progressive.
Yeah.
Let's
Tony,
call
can
for
we-
a measurement.
Yeah, let's go to the tape.
it is 10 inches.
Each one is 10 inches?
Yeah, look, because it's curly.
Wait a minute. Where's the tape measure?
Where's my-
Where's the tape measure?
You have to hold it out like that. See?
Yeah. Here, let me
That's
try to
10
put it on my head. Every time, Rob, remember I would get it and put it on the top
I'm
of my
losing
head?
the hair though. This is going to little cancer kids.
I know. No,
Oh,
that's the locks of love. I mean, that's a great thing.
No,
a lot of
it's-
women
No,
do
this
it.
is not Locks of Love is a bunch of hoo-ha. They charge the kid. I
Wait a
did
minute.
not know.
So wait, you donate your hair for free to Locks of Love?
And then they
they
charge.
sell it to cancer patients?
Yes,
Are you
it's
sure, Robin?
Yes, I'm positive.
Has that been confirmed?
Yes, I found out.
All I
found
wanna
out.
know is, can we please put that hair on Tony's head and give him the Hulk Hogan skullet, please?
Yeah, let me hold that.
Okay, hold on.
Let me hold that. then.
Okay, hold on.
Joe Quill says he donates pubes for peace, which is an even worthier. No, it's not worthier. Kids with cancer overdoes everything. You know what I mean? By the way, how was your run last week? Did you run?
I did.
Was there a race?
No race. Just tried a 14-mile training run. Tomorrow I got to do 16.
Let me lift the heads. You got to put it under the head.
Oh my God, dude! This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my
Let's
life.
see. Oh, look at that.
Tony,
I
you
look
look
good
like
with
Trump.
bangs.
It's amazing.
Like Trump. Robin,
No,
you're not
he
putting
looks
it in right. There you
He
go.
looks like he
I
looks
want
like
bangs.
an elder lollipop gang member.
Leave him up there. Leave him in there.
No, you look like your boy from the Raiders, the owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis. Mark Davis. He looks like Mark
No, Al
Davis.
was the original, but Mark Davis. Yeah, Mark
Yes, he
Davis.
looks like Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Yeah.
Tony looks like someone you should definitely not buy a car from.
Wait a minute, it's a little loose, Robin. You're going to need to fix that. You got any bobby pins or anything?
He looks like
You need
Justin
more
Weezer.
than Bobby.
Look at that.
Oh, that is so weird looking over and
you
seeing
like
you
that?
with
No,
hair.
you
Listen, you know who's got, I'll tell you, this rug is better than the one from that pollster,
Yeah.
Frank Luntz. Do you ever see that guy, Frank Luntz?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that you look 10 years younger, but you look 10 times worse. It's impossible.
Yeah, here's the poll question from Joe Quills. Who has the worst rug? Marv Albert, Chris Wheeler, or Tony Bruno? Who's got the worst?
Man,
You know
that's
what-
tight, dude. That's tough.
You know who I'm going to bring in right now? I'm going to bring in the big boss, Joe Manueli, who has.
By the way, he's won our fantasy
No.
contest 2 out because we didn't play 1 week. The second week, the contest
didn't
was
play
taken
either.
down.
I
Joe
didn't play either.
Manueli, a man who obviously cheats and has a lot of spare time on his hands, has won the Tony Bruno DraftKings fantasy thing two times. I was actually
Tony.
4th place at one point last week. Yes, Joe.
Tony, you gotta keep the hair, bro.
I love it, man.
You gotta keep
Great,
it.
dude.
You gotta keep it. I'm with Louis.
I like it down. You like it?
You look 10 years,
You know when people say,
10 times worse.
Joe, you know when people, you look at someone, you say, you look like an asshole? That's what an asshole looks like right there.
That's it.
And assholes aren't blonde. Unless
Well,
you
they are now.
dye the tape. Robin, what are you doing now?
Oh no.
Damn it, Robin! I got hair in my eyes now.
I mean, there are downsides to this whole thing, Tony.
What's
There's downsides to the whole hair thing. Sometimes it gets your eyes.
Yeah, and now if I get into a brawl tonight, it'll be easy to pull my weave off. You know what I'm saying? You ever see these brawls and then
Somebody
people...
get my hair so I can go.
All right, do it one more time. We got to get to business here, Robin. Anyway, Joe got his Miami Marlins hat. No, it's Miami Dolphins hat on. The game of the weekend: the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God.
Miami Dolphins fluke or for real? What is
Okay, first of all, thank you for starting the Take Tony's Money contest on DraftKings. I took that literally because I took your money twice now, which is incredible.
Not just all my money, everybody who contributed $10. And there's
I
open
appreciate
spots.
the contribution. So
We limit it to 50 spots. You can play. Just go to DraftKings, right, and look for the, what is it called? Take Tony's Money?
it's Take Tony's Money. Yeah, that's right. Week
$10
3. This will be week 4. Yeah.
What week is this, Luigi?
4?
This is week 4. Yeah.
My favorite number.
Here's here. I'm gonna put this up here for everyone to see. Here we go.
Let's not
Man,
stand
the
on
win-
ceremony
he's
here.
Chicken dinner. I'm on here, Luigi, first and foremost to brag and to take credit. And then, yeah, let's talk about. So I was in Vegas for a couple of days, just got in. My daughter was on a school trip. And so my wife's like, hey, do you want to go to Vegas for a couple of days? And before she could finish the sentence, I booked the flights and we were out of there.
Yeah,
I'm walking around Vegas with this hat, and every third fucking person stops me and congratulates me like I have anything. All I'm doing is wearing a fucking Dolphins hat.
What's your language here? This is a family show. I get criticized. Luigi curses all the time. You're cursing more than a sailor on shore leave.
Let the record show.
Let's see. What am I on? No filter. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I haven't dropped one F-bomb
I'm
in
sorry.
minutes, dude. I haven't
I'm
said a
sorry.
thing. Nothing. Nothing.
So I apologize to all those offended.
No one.
But-
Which is nobody.
Which is nobody.
Nobody.
Exactly.
Think of all the little children listening.
Oh my
Trying to
God.
decide what their gender is, and now they have to decide what the F word means.
Yeah, you're talking about genders over here. But meanwhile, you look like a pedophile 4 minutes ago, and you're
Yeah.
here telling me
And you're
No
the
shit.
one who said, put the hair on my head. I didn't do that. Robin does it every time she gets her hair cut.
you're a grown
I want to
man.
see what it
Come on,
looks
peer
like.
pressure you. Come on.
You know what, Tony? Like if you send a picture to Gavin Newsom, he's going to nominate you as Feinstein's replacement. Honestly,
Absolutely, yes. I'm still I got to give it up to Dianne Feinstein. You know, I don't root for anybody. I don't celebrate anybody's death. But the fact that Dianne Feinstein was able to get in and vote one last time before she left us
dude,
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's pour one out and give her a roaring round of applause. Dianne Feinstein, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the applause now? Let me give it to her, Rob. You got it?
I'm assuming you have
It
it.
was just funny because like
It's right there on page
you don't
1,
see
right
you don't
at the top.
see Tony with hair like all the time.
Speaking of which, I saw Babylon Bee's headline was a Democratic Party reveals that Dianne Feinstein's death will not affect her re-election campaign.
Exactly. No, she's a lock. When people go to the polls again out in the Bay Area, they'll just hit Dianne Feinstein's name. So she is going to, I predict now, she will win in a landslide.
Yeah.
Unless Adam Schiff goes in and basically demands that he gets that job. Yeah.
Let's shift to this Dolphins-Bills game. It is the game of, not only the game of the week, but the game of the year. There are three undefeated teams.
Wait. Cut down. Colorado against USC. Let's be honest. That's the game
We're
of the
talking
year.
Tony. I'm not talking college. Yeah.
No,
whatever.
No, that's what Fox is calling that game. Big Noon Sunday. Meanwhile, Colorado, and I love Dion. I know him. I've known him a long time.
Too,
but after they got boat raced by Oregon, how is this the game of the year?
Well, at least they're playing the Trojans, so they'll be safe when they stick it in them. You know what I'm saying? There's that. That is going to be another throttling, by the way.
I agree.
What, you think USC is going to beat down Colorado?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's the number in that game? I haven't looked at the college.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll get you a line in a minute, but they're going to score 80 points on these guys. Like USC's offense is legit. Yeah. A lot better than Oregon State's. But Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills, the game of this season so far. If Miami wins, they go 4-0, the only undefeated team in the AFC. And the Jets, to your previous comments, Tony, suck. Like, they're done. Put a fork in them. The Patriots are going to play 500 ball. And if Miami wins, the Bills go to 2-2. We have a 2-game lead in the AFC East. And
you live in the Bay Area. You're from Canada, and you're a Miami Dolphin fan.
Frankly,
I live in Miami. Come on, Tony, you know the story. I'm a diehard. I'm long-suffering Miami Dolphins fan, as you know.
No, listen, I love the Dolphins. Sometimes the Dolphins make me cry, but I'm happy when teams that have. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm happy. Like I love seeing the Cleveland Browns fans happy now. The Lions, how about the Lions? Everybody jumped on the Green Bay Packers last night. That was an absolute beatdown. I mean, everybody was going crazy about Kevin Love, who looked good. Let's be honest, but they made him look like a high school freshman out there last night, man.
You mean
Jordan Love.
Who did I say? Kevin Love. Well, he's is he still in the NBA?
Kevin Love.
Did LeBron have him dumped to another team somewhere? I mean, LeBron always brings him in and then dumps him off somewhere.
He was in Miami, in Miami.
I know.
Yeah. So I think Miami wins. I put a little bet, an alternate cover, alternate spread, Miami minus 10.5. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. The last time the Miami Dolphins played Buffalo, we had our third string quarterback in a wild card game last year in Buffalo, and we almost won that game. So we're going into Buffalo. First of all, there isn't a 40 inches of snow out there, right?
No, there's only Niagara Falls will be actually now going into the stadium up in Buffalo. That's how the weather is.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Like, they're not going to be able to stop that Miami offense. No Von Miller. I think that makes a big difference, right? So Miami proved they could run the ball. They ran the ball for 400 yards against Denver last week, which is insane.
And nobody even in Miami had any idea who everybody knew Raheem Mostert. This other guy comes on and he runs for 100 touchdowns too. The other day. What's his name?
A chain. He ran the fastest 40-yard combine, Tony. He ran a 4.32 of any offensive rookie this year.
From another track star. Devon, a chain.
A chain.
5 times. I had some of that the other night. It was off the chains, by the way.
He was off the chains. Yeah, he was off the chains. He ran for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. And I had him on one of my fantasy football teams, but he was on the bench. I wasn't playing him, because I figured nobody would expect him to do that in the first game, right?
No, I had Raheem Mostert, and I thought it was him scoring all those touchdowns, and I realized Raheem Mostert only scored 3 of them. It's an outrage, man. I could have won the fantasy if he had scored all 6 rushing touchdowns.
I had Mostert on my team as well, but I had Tank Dell from Houston. That was like the difference maker. So yeah, Houston's looking good too. By the way, like I like the Texans a lot. Like they're another team that long suffering. The people are happy to see succeed.
CJ Stroud is legit. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one rookie quarterback who's come out and started to do some stuff, right?
Anthony Richardson played well, and then he got hurt. Apparently now he's cleared the concussion protocol. So Anthony Richardson for your 2-1 Indianapolis Colts, Louis.
Yeah, fabulous stuff. So hey, Tony, I have an announcement to make.
Breaking news.
Breaking news on the No Filter.
When news breaks on the show, you know what happens? We fix it. Let's go to the breaking news sounder.
Somebody asked if the Philadelphia Flyers have any chance. There are a few hockey fans here. Next week, back to the No Filter Network on a weekly show called Snipes and Stripes. The one and only Jeremy Roenick is going to be back.
Oh, JR's coming back.
JR.
I wouldn't say Snipes, because that may have people in Philadelphia running out this. Break into another Snipe store and clean out all the quality product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so he's going to do a podcast with Tim Peel, who's an NHL referee for like 14 seasons, and of course JR's nickname when he played hockey was Snipes. So Snipes and Stripes is the name of their show.
That's very patriotic. Do I have to have an American flag and do my Wally George thing and stand up and wave the flag?
Absolutely. And then, of course, everyone is excited about Connor Bedard, first overall pick in Chicago, right, where JR played a lot of hockey. So Original 6 team. This kid's legit. He's going to be – I don't know if he's going to – like, he could be Connor McDavid good. He's playing well already, so he'll be fun to watch.
And by the way, speaking of baseball, which we're not, I want to be the first person to say. I'm sure I'm not the first. I mean, I think Bryce Harper was the first person to say it. Angel Hernandez should not be allowed to even buy a ticket to sit in an MLB stadium, let alone be an umpire. And it's not. This isn't a one-time thing, and it's not because he threw Bryce Harper out. This guy is not competent. How does he keep his job? And I thought they reviewed the umpires. Is there any umpire in baseball that's been consistently more bad than Angel Hernandez? And how many years has he been around?
Yeah, and Burns is a big proponent of the auto ump. I like the human element, honestly, but you shouldn't be that bad at this level, right? Like there's no excuse for it. So,
by the way, the greatest thing of that Bryce Harper thing, I'm sure everybody saw it by now, that he get so mad at Angel Hernandez, he threw his helmet over the mesh, and this young kid got it, and then he brought it back, and then he signed it for him. Bryce Harper signed the helmet for the kid. What was the scripture? He put a little Bible stuff.
I think it was John. Luke 1:13 or something.
Luigi used to carry that sign to WrestleMania. Luke 3:16. Now, what was the one that they always
carried that sign down to the bodega down the street? What are you talking about?
Wasn't it John 16? The guy
John 3:16.
John
3:16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin 3:16. Yeah.
Austin 3:16.
That's right.
No, mine says Luigi 1501. This is my address. So just in case I get stabbed, they know where to bring me back to.
Oh man, that is awful. But no, there's interesting games. You've got 2 toilet bowls this weekend. There's a double toilet bowl. You got the Bears and the Broncos at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to win that game unless they play to a tie. And we'll go to Donovan McNabb and ask him, how that game can end in a tie. And then you got Bryce Young, who's an up-and-comer, obviously, and Carolina's trying to rebuild. 0-2, 0-3 against your Minnesota Vikings. So you got 2. There's only 4 0-3 teams. How many of them? 4.
4.
And 2 of them, then they're playing each other. So we're going to have 2 fewer winless teams at the end of this weekend.
Yeah, I love Minnesota, by the way, and I'm interested in seeing what Philly Godfather says on Sunday morning. But I think the Vikings should not be 0-3. They face some tough teams.
If they don't win, I think you'll see heads rolling early in Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree. Right? They're the one team that could win and go 1-3 and still squeak away into a wild card spot out of those 4 that you mentioned, right? And
let's be honest. Does anybody think that this is a must-win game for the Bears? No, the Bears are shot.
Yeah,
the Bears are an unmitigated disaster. Are they not?
Yeah, I mean, who do you like on that? Like after what? Like I can't believe how bad the Broncos were, right? Like I mean, that was really, really bad. But they couldn't stop the run. Justin Fields can run the ball, but they have no offensive line, right? So yeah, you're gonna have to pay me money to watch that game.
Comes on because there's a whole bunch of 1:00 starts, and I have the YouTube TV.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not in one of the 4 boxes.
Right.
If that game is put in because they predetermine. You don't have a choice of what you want to watch in 4 screens on YouTube TV. And if that Chicago Bears Denver Bronco game is one of my 4 pictures up there, I'm going to absolutely smash the screen like you see all those people like the Cowboy fans after they lose and they post those videos of smashing their big screens.
Yeah, now the big screens Did anybody else notice Robin show up like the Blair Witch right there on screen?
Yeah, what happened, Robin? Where the hell are you? Robin, we had an apparition of Miss Robin.
Yes.
Where are you, Robin? What did you do?
I made a mistake.
We just lost a stream.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Wait a minute, I got to do this right away.
No. So that is totally my fault. I wanted to check the audio to make sure that everything was running okay. And
then you appeared on the screen suddenly, and then everything was shut down.
I know.
What the hell is going on back there?
That was really bad. So I do apologize.
Well, we have the boss on the line right now.
Well, hold on.
We have the boss on the line, and I want to hear from the boss because Robin is the first to always throw everybody under the bus.
Well, he's not on the line yet. He will be on the line momentarily.
And you know what? Who's going to be on the line? Your pink slip, Robin, not the one you're wearing right now.
I totally deserve.
Let me give you another one of those. We had a good rhythm going.
I know.
We were hitting on all cylinders, Robin, and then half an hour into the show, Robin absolutely spits the bit, ladies and gentlemen.
That was inexcusable, Tony Bruno.
Why are you messing around during the show? I don't know what you were trying to do, Robin.
I know.
How did you appear in the 4th box on the screen?
What I was trying to do is I was trying to look and make sure that the audio levels were good.
By appearing on camera somewhere in the distance?
No, I logged in to an incorrect account on my... And then when I went to exit, I accidentally hit, as soon as I hit the button, I went to hit exit for me only, and then I accidentally hit exit for everyone. That's a dangerous button.
Are we back on at least?
Yes, we are back on.
Okay, why can't I see anything?
Okay, hold on, I'll come help you.
Jesus. I'm going to give you a third one, Robin. This is a new, I think this is much deserved. I stand by, everybody. We're back on, and now we're going to get our boss, who this may be the first on-the-air firing we've ever had on No Filter Network.
Well, this one I totally deserve.
Absolutely, you totally deserve it.
I deserve this one. Totally.
She disappears, and then all of a sudden, her ghostly image shows up in the Quattro box, not the Audi Quattro, but the other Quattro box. And then before you know it, boom, everything's gone. So we're back.
Yes. So for those of you who did not hear, I am giving myself a major bump.
I'm giving her the fourth one. You a 4 for 4 guy?
I 4 bumps in a row. Just to know what happened, folks. I was checking to make sure that the audio was fine. I accidentally hit on my phone the wrong account. Plus, I then hit end event for everyone.
Oh, look, Robin, you look like you showed up like the Blair Witch, right? But it looked like you look like you were in a bathroom, right? With your cell phone.
You're in a bathroom.
I was in the dark hallway,
taking like a dick pic or something.
Hey,
that's what it looked like.
If something goes wrong, I totally admit when it's me, and this one was 100%
But it
me.
was spooky because you showed up like.
Hey, we're getting ready for Halloween, right?
Yes.
I was going to say,
of things we should call Robin right now after that. I have a list prepared right now.
I'm embarrassed.
Let's see.
Chaos, corrupt, messy, crazy, bad, sad, dysfunctional, broken, disgusting, ridiculous, petty, partisan, embarrassing, hypocrisy, shit.
Yeah. Oh, that one's appropriate.
Crooked.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Oh, that one
fractured,
too. Yeah.
Circus.
Yeah.
Liars.
Anything else?
Joke. Self-centered.
Oh, no.
Crap, nasty.
Yeah.
Toxic. Deceit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Farcical. Convoluted.
Oh my God.
Rigged. Combative. Dumpster fire.
Oh, definitely.
Aggressive, extreme. Poor. Disaster.
Yep.
Disgrace. Unproductive. And, well, effed.
Even Stephen A. Smith is chiming in now.
What the hell was that?
Exactly.
Wow.
Anyway, let's get it back to whatever.
Before we do that, can we at least give her one of those? I mean, we
I'll
have.
give her 4 of those, man.
He gave me 4 already.
Well, can you give her one for me? Because I
absolutely. I think one that goes around. I think everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody should go on the stream right now.
Yes.
And give Robin one of those.
Oh.
That's right.
Give her one of those.
I'm giving myself the biggest one.
Jesus.
Well,
you know what I say? You know what I was going to say to her?
Get away from here.
Get. Robin cuts her hair and she loses half her mind. What the fuck?
She's like Rapunzel. No, who's the chick that when they cut the hair off? No, that was Hercules.
No, it was Delilah and who was the guy?
Samson and Delilah.
Samson was the one with
not
the
the Sansom Street Cinema or the Samson Street Gym.
Samson lost his strength when he cut his hair.
Samson is actually doing a one-man show at the Boot and Saddle this weekend, and Delilah will be appearing at Cheerleaders.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. By the way, Joe, I got to ask you, my boy Eric Burns, another one of the muckety mucks at No Filter. What's he going to do now with no San Francisco Gigante in the postseason this year?
Yeah, I mean, him and Thrill were feeling good in August, but yeah, they shit the bed like that.
Well, aren't you surprised that they fired Gabe Kapler before the final weekend series?
Well, I also think I'm surprised they fired him at all. This was a 500 team going in. You can't really
name 5 Giants. Right? Seriously, can anybody name 5 Giants? And Andre the Giant,
the Giant. You got the Jolly Green Giant.
Yes, exactly.
You got the Giant Supermarket.
Yeah. You have Giant Supermarket.
You got
who else?
Oh man, Little Giants.
Little Giants, Giant Eagle. That's right.
Giant Eagle.
Sábado Gigante were for all of us. Don Francisco.
Yeah, Burnsy's not a Giants fan per se. He played for the A's and all that, but it's he's a baseball fan. There's going to be some exciting teams in it this year, and I love the Braves. I love the Dodgers, right? Like, they're a great story. How about Baltimore winning the AL East, right?
Baltimore's the story of the year. 2 years ago.
That's
2
amazing.
2 years ago, Joe, they lost 110 games.
Right.
2 years ago.
Exactly.
And by the way, congratulations to the Oakland A's. 110 wins so far with a couple games left. That 110 losses is the worst for the A's franchise since they were the Philadelphia A's in 1916.
Nice.
How many? That's 100 and how many years ago? 107 years ago. That's how long.
Yeah, that's wild.
And in peaceful fashion, all rival gangs in Baltimore have given 40 days of peace, Tony, during the Orioles playoff run. 40 days of peace, so that way the players can get to and from Camden Yards with no issues.
That's a good job out of them.
It is. It's a very good job out of them. It's good to see that people are evolving and see what playoff baseball does, Tony.
Yeah, and that's a good point by Joe Quills. And back in 1916, they only played 154 games, not 162.
And
so they lost 110 out of 154 games. And you thought the 9-73 Sixers sucked. Yeah. Remember that team?
Yeah, back in 1916, there wasn't even 154 vehicles on the road. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Plus, it was all white dude. It was all white dudes, so they weren't any good. I mean, come on, man.
So what do you think? They go to Vegas and then they win the World Series 2 years from now, right? Like,
wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it's. I feel terrible for the Oakland A's fans.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not blaming the fans. I'm not blaming the fans.
Yeah, it's just
Well, it's not like it's far. I mean, it's right there. Vegas and Oakland are pretty close.
Yeah,
I've been told by Mickey Delaney that I said that I need a bump. I said Oakland won. Obviously, they lost 110 games. I mean, if Joe Biden can make a million mistakes every time he talks, and if I said that, I'd stand corrected. 110 losses. Come on, Mickey. What's the matter with you, man?
Well, what Tony was saying was that Oakland won 110 games the last 5 seasons combined, right?
I don't know that they won that many.
Over 5 seasons, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
By the way, on that back to that Dolphins game.
Yeah.
You know that your Miami Dolphins have covered 4 straight on the road, and they're 6-1 against the spread under your boy, Mike McDaniel. How about, is he coach of the year?
Well, I mean, look, we're 3 games in. That's what I keep reminding everyone.
No, but I'm saying, just look at the way how great this turned out. Now, I know he's got a front office and they make a lot of the right decisions, but still, you got to give the coach, because when people look at this guy, they're like, this dude's a coach in the NFL?
Yeah, I know. McDaniels is great. He was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, right? So
exactly. No,
he's used to managing, like Debo and Ayuk and of course Jimmy G. So he can make Jimmy G look good. Imagine what he'll do.
Luigi, what happened, man?
Luigi's getting attacked by a witch or something.
No, speaking of pedigree, how's our girl? A week later, after her birthday celebration,
Penelope is right here. Hi, Mama. She's kind of hanging out. She went to the vet today and charged Daddy $373. But that's
Ouch.
It's worth it. She's worth it, though, isn't she?
Well, speaking of animals, we've gotten an outpouring of love regarding our baby Sir Lawrence, who we are in the process of losing. People are asking, is he still around? So he's in heart failure, and we are making sure that he is comfortable. And we just found out that on top of that, he has a cancerous growth. So,
and we're talking about a cat, but
yes.
When a cat grows up, or any pet in your family. We're lucky we have people around and kids and grandkids and all that other stuff. But when and by the way, Sir Lawrence is the baby of the mom and dad, Lily and Riddle.
And he was diagnosed a couple of years ago with diabetes. And for anybody that knows, even in humans, when you have diabetes, there are more complications with everything. And it looks like he has some kind of cancer. His heart has weakened, and so he's in the last stages. But we're not rushing anything. We're
as long as he's comfortable.
As long as he's comfortable, he's not in pain. So we're letting him enjoy whatever life he has left. And if he gets in any kind of pain and he shows that he's in discomfort, then we will bring him down to the vet. But right now, he's still loving his snuggles and his pets, and he's still eating a little bit. So,
well, Joe Quills knows Sir Lawrence. He's watching. Luigi, you know Sir Lawrence. So the people who have been around him.
I was there when you got Sir Lawrence, dude.
Huh?
I know.
I was there when
Luigi
you got
was
Sir
around when the kittens were born.
Yeah. And, again, it's a pet, and it's going to be interesting once he's gone. With Lily. I mean, the mom and dad will still be alive, and they don't really get along. They're like long married people. They've been married for a long time.
They were really only staying together for the kids.
Exactly.
They're like, actually, they're like us. You, me, and Robin are like Sir Lawrence Riddle.
Even Trevor met Sir Lawrence when he was down here last Sunday. So thoughts and prayers with Sir Lawrence.
Absolutely.
You hate losing a pet, but at least we knew something. And Robin really, I mean, he was a mama's girl. I mean, he would sleep. He would go up on the bed every night and sleep on her. And he's a great cat, and we're going to miss him. But hopefully he's got a couple of weeks left. But again, we're not going to prolong it.
No.
If we were in Canada, we would have to call Justin Trudeau and then have him put down. And Justin Trudeau would come to your house and give him a lethal injection. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah, actually, if you're in Canada, they'd come over and offer to put you and Robin down as well, since they were there.
Exactly. Hey, you know how much money I'd save on insurance and premiums and things like that and medication?
So, Joe, you know what? Since you guys brought it up, I have actually always been pro euthanasia for people that have a disease where they're in so much pain and there's just nothing they can do. If you're really, really sick, you should not have to suffer. It's the same thing that we offer to our animals. We don't want them to suffer. So if there's nothing else you can do. However, Canada's really kind of taken it a step farther, haven't they?
They really have. Yeah.
I mean, it's scary what Canada's
doing. They go
doing.
to door and want to know if you want to die.
I had no idea. Like, if you feel like you can't, like you're financially incapable of taking care of yourself, you can be euthanized just because financially you can be totally healthy.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's
directives, family directives, and things of that nature. Custodial care and
you see
it's a shit show up there. I mean, I honestly, the last one was when Zelensky was in the Canadian Parliament.
Oh yeah, the Nazi guy that
they all stand up and clap for this guy who basically ran a couple of concentration camps.
And then, of course, then they get with the weird tie thing on, with the bow tie thing hanging down. He takes the fall when we knew Justin Trudeau knew it too. Don't they Google in Canada? Couldn't anybody say, hey, we're going to bring this guy in. Does anybody know anything about the guy? No. Let's give him a standing ovation.
Well, here's the thing: that Zelensky knows this guy as well, and there's where so many people just glossing over the fact that Nazism is a huge thing in Ukraine right now. It's still it never left. Yeah. And the military is still.
All right, enough about this stuff. Let's get it back to sports. The Florida Marlins, by the way, the Miami former Florida Marlins, trailing those pesky Pittsburgh Pirates. You got to give the Pirates credit. They got nothing to play for. And we're seeing teams like the Pirates still playing hard.
Absolutely.
And they're leading the Marlins. And the Marlins, in that weird situation, as you guys know, last night they were in New York, right? And the Mets took a lead, and then they scored 2 runs in the 9th inning. Yeah. And then the rains came, and they postponed. They had them sit around for 3 hours till 1 o'clock in the morning. Then they said the game is called. Crazy. Now, that game, they may have to go back to New York on Monday.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go. Who wants to go back to New York? So the Marlins got screwed. You saw their manager, Schumacher, went out there and yelled at the ground crew. They almost threw down on the tarp, man. And they got home. They didn't get back. They didn't get to Pittsburgh for this weekend series, which has just started an hour ago, until 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild weekend, Tony. And this is the extended playoff format, which I love. I think it's great. It should be more than, back in the day, 4 teams made it and that was it. And this is fun. This is actually fun. But I feel for the Marlins, but they also put themselves in the situation, right?
Yeah, but you know what? They were up and down. Arizona started out great. They were up and down. They're still playing hard. The Cubs. Yeah. The Cubs now, they just really shit the bed. They got swept, and so they didn't help themselves. So
the Reds look good too. The Reds look good, but they're outside now looking in.
Yeah. And the bottom line is, there's a couple of teams still alive, and obviously in the American League, you still have Texas playing Seattle this weekend, Houston and Arizona. The Cubs are playing Milwaukee. Milwaukee's already in, and Miami and Pittsburgh. Yeah, and those are the games this weekend that are going to decide pretty much. And the Mariners obviously need a miracle too, but they're playing Texas, and Texas, I believe, has beaten them. They were 8-1 against the Mariners this year. Yeah. So the Texas Rangers, who looked dead a couple of weeks ago, they got back and they're in first place. So they're going to be in the postseason. A lot of these teams have pitching issues, either guys injured or bullpens that suck. Luckily, we have a fantasy rotisserie baseball expert with us in Luigi Curto. Luigi, what do you have? Cubs in or out?
I'm not that whatsoever, but I'm going to go Cubs out. So
Cubs out.
Cubs out. They miss.
So.
They miss. They miss. I think Texas is a little scary if they get in there, man. Texas could mess up.
Oh yeah, I mean we've said that all year. I mean our boy AJ in San Antonio, he was on the Rangers early, but they lost two great pitchers in their starting rotation, and so it's going to be interesting. But anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll keep an eye on baseball. So it's good to have in the final weekend some games that matter.
They matter. Exactly.
Also, this weekend is a weekend where you got to keep your fingers crossed. You're not playing any. If this is a virtual, who the F is that guy kind of series for most of these teams, right?
Yeah.
You don't even know who these players are. But some of these guys, these pitchers are going to get stretched out a little bit. Some of these position players are going to get a few innings here and there because you got to keep them safe, but you got to keep them loose at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where the balance comes in. I think that's where the manager comes in. And that's where a lot of luck comes in. Hopefully nothing crazy happens to any of these remaining teams in the playoffs and everybody's healthy going in. That's it.
And Miami, if Miami's a half game out after the weekend is over,
which is crazy,
they'd have to go back to New York and finish that game because right now they called it a 1-0 Mets final because after 7 innings, when the rain came, it would have been an official game. But since the Marlins went and scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th, they called it and they basically said that the score is 1-0 unless the game has to be finished. And that's what's insane about it. I mean,
that makes no sense. Yeah.
It doesn't. But that that's the way the rules are. But obviously, the teams that were supposed to be there, the Mets, the Mets, the Padres, the St. Louis Cardinals were the biggest fails this year in baseball. They all had great rosters. They all spent a lot of money. And what happened? They all shit the bed.
Well, I think
I hate to use that term, but
it was top. I think it was 3 out of the 5 top payrolls in all of baseball, or something like that.
They were the 3. The Mets, Yankees, and Padres had the 3 highest payrolls in all of baseball.
Unreal. Yeah, they're by far the biggest disappointments. I saw something today. The average baseball game was 30 minutes shorter.
Yes,
and all-time attendance records at the ballpark and television, which is great. I know it was controversial, right? Some of the changes with the pitch count and everything else, but this is pretty cool, especially for the betting. You could start, games end and another one starts, and that obviously attracts a lot of people. It's been a great young players, right? Guys like De La Cruz and with the Reds, like
Acuna with the Braves,
with the Braves, right? You got some this was one of the best years for MLB that I remember in a long, long time. The future is bright. Viewership is up. It's exciting. It's fun, and relatively no the referee controversy, the umpire controversy is the biggest thing right now, right? But do you change them with robots or not? But we'll see where that goes.
I would.
Yeah. I got to give you. Speaking of outrageous, I got to rip the national foot. It's not my style, to criticize on the show. But the situation, I don't know if you saw this today. The NFL has modified its gambling policies involving players. You saw this, right? What
I did not see
today is that before, they've suspended guys, or guys are suspended for the entire year and now will be eligible next year. A couple of guys who are about to be reinstated, and they're going to be reinstated. But now, if you are caught betting on your own team, you will get automatically suspended for 2 years.
Don't.
Yeah.
You know what I would say, right? If I'm the player, I'm going, parlay. Does that not work? We're still not taking parlay?
So if you bet on your own team, you get a 2-year ban from the game. If you bet on any other team, any team in baseball, it's just 1 year.
Exactly.
However, if you bet on non-NFL sports bets,
like MMA,
any other sports bets, and you do it while you're on a team facility or team-related travel, you get 2 games for the first offense and then 4 games, and then they tell you to get out of here. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Here's the worst part. Here's why this is hypocrisy. Because this is the same league that hated sports betting of all time, but then they finally gave in with fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
And they allowed players to do ads for companies that had fantasy teams, and then in the world of everything's about slavery, they actually had players talking about being owned by fans, right? I own this guy.
Here's something.
Isn't that modern day slavery, to quote Colin Kaepernick?
Here's my thought on this: is that I don't know if the NFL wants to believe this or not, but I don't think your league would be half of what it was if it wasn't for gambling to begin with. The reason why the NFL is so big and ever got so big is because it's the most fun and easiest sport to bet on. Yep. So that carried them early on. Fantasy football comes in, and people who don't even watch football get involved into football, right? Then all of a sudden,
even I'm involved in fantasy now.
Right, but all these sports books open up, right? And it's so easy to bet on anything you want, however much you want. You bet 10 cents and win $1 million. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It just gets more people just entrenched in the sport. And the NFL is benefiting more and more and more from gambling and fantasy. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even be in a fucking league anymore. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Yeah, so DraftKings was using NFL team logos. They get sued by the NFL. They settle. They give a percentage of their business to Major League Baseball and the NFL. The NFL makes $1 billion after they go public, right? And they give them access to the rights, and the thing takes off. But what about the Taylor Swift factor? What about Swifties watching fucking football now? Did you guys see that? Kelsey has the number one podcast on Apple right now. The number one. My 13-year-old daughter gives a shit about football again.
This is a family program. You're going to make me lose my mind. I don't want to get into this. I don't even know why you brought it up.
Because I have a 13-year-old daughter who watches football.
Do you think that, well, one, do you think the relationship is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Of course it is.
What's the over-under on how long that relationship is going to last?
Well, we'll get to that, but my favorite part of this story is that they're playing a game on Sunday Night Football against the Jets, right?
Right. In New York.
Weather permitting, whether the field, I don't know if the field will be underwater. We know it'll suck because it's the worst field in football. Here's the amazing thing, right? Everybody's excited. All the entertainment shows, E.T., TMZ, they're all excited because, and here's why they're excited. They're like, this will be the biggest rated Sunday night game ever.
Of course.
I know it won't. You know why? Because if the Kansas City Chiefs are laying a biblical beatdown at halftime, who's going to watch the game? What they should do at the stadium there, MetLife Stadium, is they should give Jet fans free binoculars, cheap ones. So in the second half, when they're pretty much out of the game, they can all just turn and look up at the box and just watch Taylor Swift standing there jumping up and down with the Kelsey mommy.
It's a win-win for them, right? Because
it's a total win-win, 100%.
If they're playing well, you get Taylor up in the box, being happy, going crazy, like F yeah, right? But if they're losing, you get somber, and she gets empathy from everybody else. Like that's the way it is. Like these people that are out there, men, women who have gone, I don't even watch football, but I went out and bought a Kelsey jersey today because that's my girl's man. I'm like, you're a fucking douchebag. Like I don't tell you. Like I'm sorry. Forgive my language. I apologize. But it's like
I'm the only one who hasn't cursed tonight on this show.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. I said shit once, I think.
I believe I was. There were some things directed at me.
That when we weren't on the air, though.
Yeah. That was before. Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the tape. All right, guys, listen. I'm gonna let you go with this thought. Miami by 2 touchdowns on Sunday. You heard it here first. All right. Well, and then Tony, I'm looking forward to taking Tony's money for 3 weeks in a row. Can you invite some fucking guys who know anything about football in this competition? Like, give me a little bit of a challenge. What the hell?
In fourth place last week.
I did post it. I'll post it again.
I have it, Robin.
And every week it's a weekly thing. You don't have to buy players and own them and put them in.
I love it.
Put leashes around it because you own certain players.
I haven't played. I was saving my money to buy up a Travis Kelsey jersey, so I'm sorry.
All right.
You should have just gone to the stores the other night and got yourself all the jerseys you wanted during the Philly riots. How about
that? There we go. I need to win a few more so I can buy my daughter Taylor Swift tickets so she can go to a concert next year.
You're gonna have to win a lot
more.
Away,
Joe.
I know. I need to win a few more.
Well, you can save up your money for Bruce Springsteen because he's canceled the rest of the season. He had schlong COVID again, and he just refused to go to Philadelphia and sing the streets of Philadelphia because he was afraid he was going to get looted and robbed of all of his belongings.
Yeah, he's fine. He was born to run, dude. He'll be fine.
On that note,
remember these final words, Joe Emanuele, the big boss man, Not the original Big Boss Man on the WWE.
Love the Big Boss Man.
Remember the Big Boss Man? What was his real name, the wrestler?
I forget, but I remember his epic battle against Erwin R. Shyster, IRS.
That was my lawyer. How did you know? Just remember these words, Luigi, this weekend. Take it with you everywhere.
Everybody must eat.
Yes.
Everybody must eat.
Everybody.
Must eat.
Ray Washington Traylor Jr. was the Big Boss Man.
There you go.
Ray Washington Traylor? Ray Traylor, yes, the Big Boss Man. Not
Everybody
Tractor
must
Trailer,
eat.
Not Tractor Trailer, the former Michigan Fab Five guy, right? Wasn't he one of the Fab Five?
That was Robert Tractor Trailer.
Tractor Trailer, that's right.
54, Tony, number 54.
That is great Tractor Trailer knowledge. And for all you lot lizards out there, I'll be appearing at the Circle K and also at the Loves. Speaking of Loves, Jordan Love and I will be at the Loves truck stop signing autographs and Green Bay Packer memorabilia.
All right, guys. I'm going to go make some meatballs. I'm going to go eat and make some meatballs. All right, guys.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of meatball, now it's not just a local Philadelphia story. You couldn't turn and you couldn't look at Twitter, you couldn't look at social media, you couldn't go on TV. I mean, Philadelphia was really the epicenter of not just sports, but also crazy shit. You had the guy with the alligator we talked about at the Phillies game. They didn't let him in. They should have, though. Maybe he would have gotten that helmet. And then you had, the looting and rioting that was going on. And the woman who was at the head of this, because all this stuff starts on the internet. Somebody goes on the internet, they have a lot of followers, and they tell their people, hey, let's go out here and meet, and then they organize where they're going to go, and then a lot of people loot it. That's how this all starts. That's how when the dude, the Twitch guy was talking about he was going to give away some Xboxes, remember, in New York?
Mr. Beast,
and then all these people, hundreds of people show up, and they're all pissed off because they didn't get an Xbox. This is all done on the internet. And the amazing thing is they couldn't find a lot of these people back in, a couple years ago. But they could find, January 6 people mulling around in Washington, D.C. in the middle of the country 2 years later and arrest them. This woman who was out there live streaming, telling people to go in and get your free iPhones, she then gets arrested, gets charged with 5 or 6 felonies, and she's back out on the street again, and she's getting sympathy. They're going to make a statue to her in Philadelphia by the time this is all over.
Tony, they called her mother for a comment.
It was her grandmother, actually, I think.
Whoever it was. No, I think it was her mother. And after what she did, inciting the riot, all that stuff like that, and the person said, "Free Dasha." That's it. That's it. I'm like, you don't think what she did was wrong? I don't understand. I don't get it.
No, it was free meatball. They were painting it on the walls. Free meatball. I was going to go to Wawa and get myself a 12-inch.
She was calling her daughter her real name, not her Instagram
Right, yeah.
name. But here's what started. This is what she got in trouble for. And this was not the only video that she streamed that night. It was an ongoing thing for hours and hours. The police were watching her, sitting in her car, getting out, doing all this streaming, and watching the stream at the same time.
She gets more views than I do on my videos. And I'm not inciting a riot, for God's sake.
So here is the actual, one of the ones that we're talking about that she got in trouble for.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
Okay.
And that was in a liquor store. Pennsylvania State liquor store, fine wine and good spirits. And they still had the metal grates put down over the windows, right? And they ripped the metal grates off and went in there and were running out with all kinds of stuff. But there was one guy, he calls himself, what is this guy's name? MAGA something.
The MAGA Hulk.
The MAGA Hulk put together, and we like to do remixes and
of course.
Mashups. This is now the absolute best mashup of Meatball, which is her name that she was using. That's not a real name, but that's the name she went by.
That's her.
Let's go to the
Instagram.
mashup. This is the Meatball mashup to really catch you up and encapsulate the entire great couple of nights in Philadelphia when everybody was eating and getting some Lululemon and
Tell the police they either lock me up tonight or it's gonna get lit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a movie.
Get your iPhone.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
Journey with me into the
Oh, she's got some Henny there.
Well, you got to have some Henny if you're going to bust up a few moments later. They locked her ass up, Luigi. The next day.
It was like James
So
Winston.
sad.
I'm dead serious, Tone. That looks like Jameis Winston.
No, he would say, F her right in the pussy. Remember that was one of the... No, he got the wings, right? James.
Yeah, we're going to eat a W. We're going to eat a W.
Exactly. Eat a W. And by the way, Jameis Winston, maybe we don't know the situation. Speaking of quarterbacks in the National Football League,
Right.
It's crab legs, right? At Publix, I think, down here in Florida. It's a crab leg challenge, I think it was.
Now, Tony, I know this has nothing to do with the other night. She was arrested. She's been let go. She's going to make a bunch load of money.
Oh, yeah. She's going to become
she's
a millionaire
yeah, she's going to become
for being a criminal.
Yeah, she's good. But this is a video that she had posted previously on her Instagram. And there's nothing new about posting you naked in a bathtub.
No, I've been naked in the bathtub, in the hot tub.
I want to show this to people and see if they notice something very, very, very wrong.
Even Luigi, when we were fixing my mom's roof and had all of this soot coming down on us, remember years ago it was hot? We never even got into a bathtub that looked like this. Let's go to the tape.
Hold on. I lost it. Okay.
I'm holding it right now.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Born ready, cuz.
What is wrong with that picture?
Let's see it. There's a video.
Ain't nothing. The price won't stay the same.
I don't care what she's saying. It doesn't matter what she's saying. What the hell is wrong with this picture?
That can't be water.
That's water, apparently.
That is water.
I don't know.
That is water? What the F? I'm sorry. Like, even if you had rusty pipes, that's not what the water looks like.
I had a rusty trombone once,
What?
but I mean, that's that happens.
What is
That
going
Rusty Griswold.
on with that water? Like, did she just finish
That
one of
rusty
those?
cunts.
Did she just finish one of those dirty mutter races
I don't
or
know.
something?
No,
I
that
don't
can't
know.
be real. She's got
That is
That's
real.
her bathtub.
That's her bathtub.
And it's funny, if you watched any of the New York flooding in the subways today, the water was the same color. But I mean, no, come on, Luigi. She gives you a phone call. She shows up on your Ring camera, knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Would you?
I'm dead before the door handle jingles.
Would you? Would
No,
you?
I'd hang myself with my own shoelaces. I really would, dude. I would. I'm not kidding.
Oh, it's so bad.
Speaking of death,
There's nothing attractive with it. Not the attitude, not the body,
No.
not the looks,
No.
not anything. It's just like it's
and again,
disgusting.
you know what? There's a lot of people who are, find ways to make money. God bless you. But if you're one of your ways to make money and become an influencer is to incite violence, and even though she didn't go in, although she had a bottle of Hennessy, somebody gave it to her. She wasn't going in and busting stuff
That's
up.
receiving stolen goods, by the way. That's
Good
also.
thing I have-
that is
luckily,
a
I got
felony.
my Hennessy before the stores were shut down. You know what I'm saying?
I hate. But the thing is, though, too, is that like they say that she's an influencer. She had 12,000 followers. It's like that's not an influencer. That's not an influencer.
She has so many more now.
Oh yeah, she's got like she was on after she came home, and she was in jail less than 12 hours, right? 5-6 felonies. Who gets out of jail on $25,000 bail after being charged? These aren't misdemeanors. These aren't slaps. These are felonies. Felonies, Luigi.
I'm trying to think of who got off on that. Is there anybody of merit that walked out of a courtroom on bail for that kind of? No, OJ.
Now remember, $25,000 bail.
2,500.
You only have to come up with 2,500. Now there's the New York subway. Does
Yes.
that water not look exactly like that
looks
bathtub?
exactly like her bathtub.
That's her bath water.
Why are you in the water? You know what's going to be in that water?
There's rat feces. There's human feces.
Well, actually, the mayor of New York says that finally they're cleaning off all the feces, the rat urine, and the piss, and everything else in New York. So by the time that all subsides, New York will have clean. And people are swimming in that in New York, in the subways.
Well, this woman is not swimming.
No, she's trying to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, she's trying to get out. I mean, you don't want to get trapped down there with all that crap, and the water's rising. So she's trying to get out, but gross.
I wouldn't go in there. No way.
Now that's a good point, Joe Quills. That was after Chris Christie flushed the toilet after his awful debate performance where he was talking about Donald Duck and all this other shit.
So
you know
gross. And for those of you who are only listening, that was a video of a woman down in the subways who actually had to go down a staircase that was completely flooded so that she could get out. And the water was probably waist level.
Oh yeah, it
or
was
higher.
Deep. It was deep.
And it's black. The water is
it was dark brown.
That was actually what that was a montage of the Yankees season is what it was.
Exactly. That's what I said, because earlier there was a video on the street where the water was swirling, like it was going down the drain.
Like a whirlpool,
and that was the absolute perfect that was the perfect way to pour, not only pour one out, but drain one out for the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, and prematurely, although it may not be premature. I don't root against these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody think the Mets are going to somehow, they got a great defense. Are they going to rally and make a playoff run? Yeah, I don't know. If they do, that's fine. Good for them.
Speaking of premature, let's rub one out. Let's go to Jim from Cheltenham, Tony. He's down there, right there in the locker room.
Well, the New York Rangers haven't lost yet, and the new hockey season it's preseason now. But the Mets and the Yankees are officially done.
It is
pretty much so are the Jets.
But
let's go to a man, ladies and gentlemen, who has his finger on the pulse of all of this, and he doesn't have to walk in the dirty subways in Philadelphia. The great Jim from Cheltenham. Now, did the rioters come up to Cheltenham, or did they live in Northeast, Center City?
No, they don't come in our area.
Yeah, they got about as far as Winmore. That's about it.
They get as far as
I'm very lucky to live in a great area here.
Exactly right. Now, Luigi was out there in the old Roosevelt Mall getting some action up there, I think. But the amazing thing about the liquor stores, like the next day, all the liquor stores in Philadelphia closed because there wasn't any inventory.
Yep.
It's an outrage, man.
Well, Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jim. I'm feeling good, man. Life is good. We enjoy it. We got Bill Self we haven't been doing any like crime updates or crime logs. We used to do reports on people getting arrested. Good thing is we have a list of athletes in trouble, not athletes in action. Remember, there used to be that team of Christian athletes who would always play against UConn and Villanova in preseason, athletes in action. These are athletes in action. Unfortunately, it's not good action. So we got some bad action coming up. But let's go to Jim in Cheltenham, the official archivist of the show. Jim, what's going on tonight, man?
Well, we have a clip from when you're doing Gary's show in San Francisco.
Yes, that's when Robin and I can get off the BART and not have to worry about walking through poop.
And this is one day when you used to love doing play-by-play off the television.
Absolutely.
Well, Gary hated it.
I know he did.
So this is one day. It was the first year of the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, the WBC, baby!
And the game was on the same time his show was on, and you came on, and all of a sudden you broke in the play-by-play.
Well, when you have an international sporting event on at that early time in the morning, and it's on TV, I got to break into my play-by-play.
It was him on you and his producer, Dibbs, Mr. Dibbs.
Dan Dibley, the great Dan Dibley, yes.
So here's how it sounded in 2006.
Beautiful, man. Let's go back in time.
Gary, Johan Santana on the hill facing Big Papi, who's grabbed the bat to lead off for your Dominicanas.
They call him Big Papi. And Little Kim, I guess that's on Wednesday or Thursday night, Tone.
Reality show, Little Kim, yeah.
Countdown to lockdown. Your thoughts?
Well, she's trying to get out of jail. You heard what happened. She's been in jail since September. She filmed the show before she went to the big house for perjury, which she may be the only person in the history of this country who's actually gone to jail for perjury.
Yeah.
But now apparently her breast implants are leaking.
Are you
serious? She wants out.
Okay. Dan, as we say goodbye, Dan Dibley, did you learn anything this morning, though, Dan?
I learned that TV on the radio works, Gary.
Oh, you guys are all nuts.
Well, you got Johan Santana on the mound. People want to know if he's going to get Big Papi. He's got him 2-1, Gary.
All right, we may have a little fun, Tone, after your...
Oh, there's a drive. That ball is hit the deep center field, but it's going to stay in the park.
Oh, okay.
No, it's going right over the 400-foot side, Gary.
All right.
Touch them all, Big Papi. The Dominicans, Gary, taking down the dreaded enemy from Venezuela. Give us your oil. Give us your oil. Give us your win.
Darren, I bet this... all I know... 808 KBR. Do you think that's entertaining to hear the barista, Mike, my good friend Dan Dibley, and of course, America's #1 talk show host, Bruno, talk about what they're watching on television while you're stuck in traffic.
There you go, Tony.
Wow, those are the good old days.
You two were great together.
Those are the good old days, man.
The
live play-by-play of the W. When you get the Dominican Republic and Venezuela together early in the morning, Bay Area time, you throw out the record books, you throw out helmets, you throw out debris onto the field, you throw out beer bottles, whatever it takes to win.
And people don't know that was the first. That show was the first show really ever podcasted. There was no thing.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. No, I've been very fortunate in my life to work with amazing people. The list goes on and on and on. But that was 17 years I did that segment. Do you realize that, Jim?
Unbelievable.
17 years. It's unbelievable, man. Is Gary working with Mark Willard now? No, Dan Dibley's working with Mark Willard. I know that. They're doing
the game in San Francisco?
Absolutely. No.
Your own program director runs that station.
Yeah, the great Mark Willard and Dan Dibley and Matt Nahagian is running that station.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man. But I you know what? That's a good point, Steve Krause. Was that disseminated with the express written consent of Major League Baseball in any rebroadcast, retransmission, or without the express written consent? Will lead to immediate execution.
You never stopped me before, Tony.
Damn right, man. That's a good one, Jim. That was good quality, too. Luigi, you had to be impressed with that.
Well, that was a strong station in San Francisco. I think 50,000 watt station in San Francisco.
Absolutely.
I was listening, and then I'm intently listening. And then when you said the dreaded enemy, Venezuela, I just put my head down.
Well, that's an old joke. That's this is a rivalry.
No, I meant. I put my head down. It was funny as hell. I didn't want to laugh.
And also, good. Tony, we have some preseason hockey tonight.
Yes, the hockey boys. That's what I love about hockey preseason. They have like 2 sessions of skating around, and then they start playing games. None of this bullshit. A month in training camp. What do we have? We have updates?
Stars and the Bruins tonight. 1-1 after the first period.
Oh, man.
In Boston.
Luigi is already saying melt the ice, and they haven't even started yet.
That's right. Jose right now.
Hey, Jose's been in the chat room, and he's saying he wanted to be put on by Robin. Is Jose still in the house?
Oh, I did not see him. Jose, go back into the green room.
He was saying, "What up?"
He was on the show after you last week.
Yeah, I know he was on the last call afterwards last week.
He was great.
He was great. I'm trying to get everything organized here. And then Robin didn't even see Jose. He was saying, "What up, Luigi's?"
I was just checking on.
I can't see the comments. So
I got him right here because I got a big screen now. Yes, I mentioned it earlier. Gabe Kapler fired before the season even ends.
Well, that's what they did. A lot of teams do that now. They fire him like the next of this late in the season. Or
what's he going to do? Give them a couple of days to get a job for next season before Monday? I mean.
Maybe
to me, I think this is an outrage, and here's why. And again, Luigi, by the way, is close personal friends with Gabe. He had lunch with Gabe Kapler. Gabe Kapler gave Luigi Curto an autographed baseball. Did he not, Luigi?
He did. He handed me. I said, "The fuck am I going to do with this?"
Did you rub it down with some coconut oil and then throw it in the backyard?
They use the mud from the Delaware River.
It's funny because when I was doing this for the Phillies charities. It was when they auction off for lunch with the manager or whatever, and Gabe was the manager. My friend won, and she was like, "I don't really know too much about the team and everything. Like I don't want to sound dumb. Can you come with me?" And I'm like, "I don't know shit, but all right, no problem." So we get down there, and Gabe comes in. The Phillies got the PR people in there. They're videotaping the whole thing.
Was he tanned and jacked? Could you see the?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. It was still. It wasn't tan. And he goes, and I knew that Gabe was roommates with Pat Burrell when they were in Tampa.
Pat the Bat, that's right.
So I brought that up and told because I hung out with Pat and Gavin Floyd and all those guys a long time ago.
Which dungeon did you go to in Philly? Which Philadelphia sex dungeon were you going to?
The one off of 2nd and South.
Exactly. That's the
one right where the Wawa is now.
Wait a minute, that Wawa's closed, isn't it? Didn't that one close down too?
It's closed. It's closed. But anyway, so we were sitting there just talking about. He was just telling about some stories about when he was that him and Burrow got into when they were in Tampa, and it loosened up the whole thing. But we were getting kind of chummy or whatever. And at the end, he goes to sign a ball for the person who won the thing or whatever, the auction. My friend Kristen. So he signs the ball. He gives to her, and then he gets another ball from the Phillies people. And he goes, Here you go, pal. And I looked at him. I said, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, oh my God, I don't want
That's
this.
disrespect, Luigi. You get a charity item. You weren't even supposed to be there, and then you disrespect the great Gabe Kaplan.
I didn't even eat. I just helped out. That's all I did.
What do you mean you didn't even eat? It was a lunch.
I didn't
remember these 3 words that I've been trying to tell you about all night. Never forget these words. Never forget. And you know what I'm talking about, right, Luigi? What?
Gotta eat.
Everybody must eat.
Yeah.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
I've turned down autographs from every who's who we've met at every Super Bowl. You think I'm taking a ball from Kapler and feel bad?
Wait a minute, you didn't Rod Carews autograph when we were hanging out with the great Rod Carew?
I wouldn't take it, but we took the photo. I wouldn't take the autograph, but we took.
Yeah, I don't ask for autographs either. I didn't ask for John Lennon's autograph.
That's right.
I got
we don't
it.
do that. You don't.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
The only thing that was cool was the third day in Minnesota. I got to wear when the auctioneer Hunt Auctions came over and had Harry Callis's jacket.
Yeah.
So they gave me. I wore Harry's jacket, and then when Rudiger came over, and I have Rudy's Notre Dame jacket on. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. When you have memorabilia that were really worn by, great, like Harry Callis, legendary.
I actually, they auctioned off Rudy's helmet a couple of years ago when the Super Bowl was in Houston.
Yep.
And I could not even get it on my head. My head is bigger than Rudy's.
Wow.
I know.
The best part of that entire weekend was when I beat the ever-loving dog shit out of Merrill Reese in basketball.
Come on, that's not his game. You couldn't beat him in tennis, and you couldn't beat him in golf.
Who?
Merrill Reese. Merrill Reese is a hell of a tennis player and a hell of a golfer.
Yeah, I'll still crush his ass in tennis. Golf, no, I have a life. I can't play golf. And but he wanted to play basketball.
Luigi's good at tennis. Remember
I know that's his racket.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it was me playing Brian Westbrook, and I beat Brian Westbrook. And then Merrill's like, I want to play. I'm like, all right. So he steps over, and I just looked over, just buried him. I didn't care. I was like, take that, Reese. I don't give a shit. It was fun.
But Jim, now, what do you think now? Playoffs, Phillies? They're playing well. I mean, let's be honest. They got hot at the right time. A lot of teams, coast in. I think the fact that the Phillies were playing well in the final week, because obviously, there's
100 games. So they're the third best record in the National League in their last 100 games this year.
Yeah, and the fact that they had, they had their final games. They had the Mets, and they swept them in 4 games. Then they took care of the Pirates. The Pirates were pesky. I mean, they were up 5-0, and the Phillies had to come back and win. So I think when you're going into the playoffs, and you're playing better, now they got this kid Orion, right?
Unbelievable.
He actually, this kid Orion, what's his last name? He got his first win the other night.
Orion's Belt?
No, not Orion's Belt. Not Orion Pictures. But anyway, this kid grew up in Huntington Beach, California, then went to the University of South Florida, and then he's with the Phillies. And he comes up the other night in a game where the Phillies had to come back. Kirkering, that's right, Scrapple Joe.
Yep.
Orion Kirkering.
Yes, Richard Orion Kirkering.
I'm more of a Uranus guy myself, but Orion's belt. Is Orion's belt anything like a garter belt? And where is Orion?
It's exactly like that.
I was wondering. He does have a nasty slider.
Mm. But that's what the difference in the Phillies now in the last couple of years. Their minor league system has turned out a lot of players all of a sudden.
Absolutely. There are guys all over baseball who were former Philly. How about you see who was in the bullpen the other night for the Pirates? We wonder where he went.
Scott Air.
No. Bailey Falter.
What?
Remember Bailey Falter at the beginning of the year? Everybody, Bailey Falter. He's going to be awesome, baby.
He faltered.
He faltered and found his way to Pittsburgh. Even people with terrible towels weren't following it. Falter, I didn't even kiss her.
Was it the great Nelson Figueroa out there, Tony?
No, I don't think he's still with the organization. Yes, Falter was traded for Rodolfo Castro and his iPhone. That was a hell of a trade. I think the Phillies win that because then they took that iPhone and went to Lily down there at the AT&T store and got to make out with her at the lunch table. And then she basically she flashed for him quickly because, as you know, that chick is packing. She's packing. You know what I'm talking about, right, Luigi?
No.
Lily from AT&T?
No.
Come on, man. You haven't seen her?
No.
She's everywhere.
I literally have no reference into what the hell you're talking about.
Up Lily from AT&T.
She's adorable. Milana Weintraub.
Yeah, she's foreign.
Yeah, she's from
Weintraub. They have great grapes at the Vine Troop. Have you been out there, Louise? She's got a big rack, and she's an actress too. And everybody thinks she's like this. Oh, isn't she nice? She's done some nasty stuff, and I don't mean like porn.
What do you mean nasty stuff?
No, she's been in movies where she gets semi-naked. Remember, I was watching that one movie, in a vampire movie. She was in there, and she's got some major league Morocco. Let me tell you that right now.
Speaking of movies, Tone, I filmed my scene in that upcoming movie yesterday, by the way.
Oh, you did? Why didn't you tell me about it? You never called me in time. Now, is the horror movie being released? Is that already?
Yeah, October 26th.
Right before Halloween.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Milana.
Here she is. Look at this chick.
That's Mrs. Curto to you.
Now, how smoking hot is she? You've seen her.
Yeah.
She's the chick in the AT&T commercials.
Robin, my little camera thing prevents me from seeing her torso. Can you scroll up or down? Up. That's right there. That's
right there?
Yeah,
just to cut her head off and just leave it right there?
Is
that good enough for you right there?
She's an absolute smoke show. Seriously.
Perfect. I'm switching to
She's
AT&T.
Stunningly beautiful.
I am switching to AT&T pronto.
I'm switching too.
That's fantastic. I mean,
after seeing her, I think I'm a lesbian. If we can all change our identities, I now identify as a lesbian, and hopefully she does too.
I identify as turned on. That's what
Speaking of former
I identify
Phillies,
as lesbian.
how about J.P. Crawford playing well for your Seattle Mariners?
Yeah,
the entire major leagues are absolutely scattered with former Phillies. A lot of their draft picks who didn't make it out.
He saved their season last night.
What's that?
He saved their season last night.
Absolutely. No, there's no doubt about it. And that's
why I stayed up late to watch
weekend.
that game last night. And I was ready to turn it off, and then he got that big hit down the line.
Yeah, walk-off two-run single. Robin, sit your ass down.
Hey, Jim, we have tons of people in the waiting room.
Okay, guys.
Thank you so much for bringing all your great stuff, as always.
Enjoy the playoffs, Tony.
Thank you, Jim. Let's give him a roaring round of applause.
Bye, Jim.
Take care, everybody.
The official archivist.
The official archivist. The National Archives.
Actually, Jim, before you go, you need to get your recording equipment out again soon because
yes, it's coming.
It's coming. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
When's it starting?
The official date has not.
It's going to be within the next 2 weeks. Robin and I have been over at the studio. We got the equipment hooked up. Robin and I have been we've been in there working hard. We don't just have people working.
Yeah, we're working on the decor. The equipment is coming, and
I get a lot of emails. People are asking when's it going to start.
Yeah, it is going to be starting. Probably,
where's that? Is that in South Philly or is that in Cheltenham?
In about 2 to 3 weeks, the official start date is starting, and we already have a great lineup that we cannot talk about yet. But it's going to. We have 4 different shows that are already. How many?
How many different shows? I'm not doing 4 shows a day now. Maybe increasing my workload.
No, but Tony is going to be on. We do know. We can officially announce that Tony.
This is breaking news. Nobody's heard this before.
Yeah, Tony will be on from 3 to 6 p.m. prime time, drive time.
Afternoon drive, because I ain't getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore.
We got somebody else doing that. And the official network name is the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
TBSN, everybody. TBSN.
And the cool thing is we just listened to the feed today.
The feed's up and running, but we can't post it yet.
Yes, because it's but it has a bunch of old, like you might be able to stumble upon it if you really, really look for it. But it is old Tony Bruno shows that are currently up and running. And from that
24/7 Tony Bruno right now until the show goes live.
They're building the TBSN app. So you are going to be able to download an app on both your iPhone and on your Android so that you can listen to the
Will be okay. I pick it on my satellite rate. Can I pick it on my smart TV?
Yes, you.
Yes, you will. Even on your dumb TV, you can do it. If you got the old UHF antennas.
Well, the smart
TV.
The smart TV, we are working on the video component as well. We're not quite sure what direction we're going with that yet, because it has to mesh. The technology has to work with the radio station. So, but yes. You will be able to listen to it all over the world on Live 365 radio.
Live 365.
And it will have its own app. So it's going to have
an app. You can listen to it anywhere on Earth. Luigi, when he's banging some some Tinder date, he could let me put that on. You talk about good late night listening.
But Jim, you're going to have new material to record.
That's good. Okay. See you next time, everybody.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for the greatness that is Jim from Cheltenham. Yeah.
He's so good that this wasn't even live. This was a recording. That's how good he is.
Let me stop it right now.
I might have to go on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to noon for bitches and pitches, brother. I
love that. Yeah, you can do some. You can do some MLS. You can do some.
It's English Premier League.
Bitches part can be your Friday night leftover.
It's English Premier League. That's it, brother. That's
beautiful, man. Yeah. By the way, Ryan Neff, our resident. Why is anybody watching college football on a Friday night, guys?
Degenerate.
North Carolina State leading. Is that a final? Louisville. They're leading Louisville 7-0 tonight at the half.
Speaking of finals, Tom.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Robin, because I caught you right when you're getting ready to say something. I don't know if you have this on the docket for later on, but I think it's worth mentioning the fact that Tupac's shooter has been arrested.
Yes, that's the breaking story.
That is breaking news.
Out of Las Vegas.
Huge, man.
How many years after he was killed?
27 years ago, in this month of September, which is ending this weekend, Tupac was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip in a Cadillac with 3 other guys, including the great.
Or not so great.
Well, he's dead too. Everybody's dead except the guy that they've now arrested. The Keffe Davis, the Compton Street legend. He apparently admitted that he was the guy who shot, and then they thought they weren't going to come after him because of all the time that passed, but they raided his girlfriend's house and found computers and stuff because they got a lead. And so they arrested him early Friday morning. And, of course, in that car on that night, 27, you talk about cold cases. This was a stone cold case. And I thought it was a joke today when I saw the man who killed Tupac 27 years ago has been arrested. Mm-hmm. And the amazing thing is he's the only guy still alive of all the people involved, either in the car where the shots were fired, along with, of course, the guy who hung Vanilla Ice over the railing in Las Vegas as well. Suge Knight, baby.
Yeah. So Dwayne Keith, otherwise known as Keith D.
Keith D, baby.
Baby. On the ones and twos.
Is it Keffe D or Keith D?
I think it's Keffe D.
I think it's Keffe D.
It's Keefe?
No, it's Keffe. I think it's Keffe D.
Oh, well, here in this, in this news article, it's Keefe. So they spelled it wrong.
It's going to be cell blocks at D.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like
He's got a Wikipedia page too. Also,
does he really?
Yes, he does.
So he admitted in interviews that he was in the car. He was in the Cadillac with Shakur's shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in the car that pulled up. There was 4 guys in the car where Tupac was in.
Right. So he never actually.
And all the guys in that car are dead. Every guy that was in the car are dead.
No.
Yes.
So he was in the Cadillac with the shooter that killed Tupac.
Exactly. But Tupac's car, where Tupac was in, there were 4 people in that car. Right. All 4 people in that car are dead.
Yes. Okay.
This guy's the only guy still alive out of any of these guys.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
This is back when rap was good, when you had the East Coast, West Coast. Remember, Luigi? You had Biggie.
Hip-hop.
We need to bring back the East Coast, West Coast rap wars. You know what
I'm saying?
I am down for that war.
Now, there are people such as this young man who just joined us that probably wasn't even alive 27 years ago.
But he's in the Chicago gangs. He's in that famous Coral Gables, Fort Lickerdale gang.
Trevor, how old are you?
I am 31.
Oh, so you were just alive.
You were 3 years old, and you were learning all the gangster signs and shit down there up in Connecticut with Ned Lamont and.
He was shitting his diapers. He didn't know no damn signs yet, man.
I probably learned gangster signs in maybe 2002, 2003.
I'm yelling Wu-Tang. He's going Gaga. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
So let me just remind everybody the details of the Tupac.
I just gave all the details.
No. I have the official here. The case originates in May 1996 when Orlando Baby Lane Anderson allegedly assaulted Trayvon Trey Lane.
Not Trayvon Martin.
No.
Not Trey Lance.
He was an associate of Death Row Records and the boss of Suge Knight. And on September 7th...
I don't need the whole damn story, Robin. I just told everybody knows Tupac was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip in a Cadillac, and now they caught a guy that they think was the guy who did it, and then it's going to be hard for him to get away with it because he's the only guy left standing. He's the last man standing.
That was the Cliff Notes version.
That's all I want. We don't need to do an hour on Tupac. And by the way, I thought Tupac was still alive.
Same too. Maybe the holograms are back now.
Can we play a little Tupac tonight?
Yeah, can we do some Keeping Me Rolling?
Remember, his last album was his biggest album. Right after he died, that album came out. You know the name of that album?
You got to go All Eyes on Me, man.
All Eyes on Me. That is great Tupac knowledge right there, baby. That's great Tupac. That's great hip-hop knowledge.
What's funny is, though, and a lot of people don't know that he was a backup dancer, DJ for the Digital Underground for Humpty, dude.
No, really?
No, yes.
That is phenomenal. How about white boys dropping all kinds of hip-hop and R&B knowledge to the tip? You know what I'm saying?
House.
He was part of the Digital Underground, dude.
By the way, Cat's listening in from New Jersey over there.
What up, Cat?
Oh, give me a little Tupac. Come on.
All eyes on me.
Yeah.
Roll up in the club. All eyes on me.
Yeah.
This is good Miami music.
All eyes on me.
I want to hear everybody on South Beach tonight heading out to the club. Well, it's too early yet. About 3 hours they'll be heading out.
Right, about 3 hours.
Maybe 4. Make it 4 hours. Make it 4 hours.
Take your clock.
Unless it's a flooded street in Miami Beach already.
This was me in my convertible LeBaron.
Yeah. I was playing this in my PT Cruiser convertible.
Stop it right now.
Stop it right now. I was probably blaring that in a Honda Odyssey minivan.
You know what? If Tony kept that hair on his head, that's what he would look like if he drove a PT Cruiser.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He needs a black tank top like Hollywood.
Like a middle school teacher who's had enough. That's exactly what he looks like.
I've had those middle school teachers who are always in Connecticut.
I love you, dude.
No, wait. Did Ryan Nessa, did anyone see Robert Saleh do his Fetterman imitation post-game on Zach Wilson? I didn't see that.
No.
Was he wearing a hood? By the way, Fetterman wore a suit in Congress.
What?
Yeah, they changed. They went back. They said, none of this bullshit with the hoodies. I mean, if Fetterman were in Philly, he would have been arrested the other night.
Was it made by Carhartt?
Yeah, apparently they said, look. You can dress however you want when you're in your office and you're just talking to people in the hallway. But if you actually go into and you're officiating, you got to look good.
Here's the best part. A writer for the New York Post dressed up like Fetterman. Did you see this? He dressed up like Fetterman and went to like all these different 5-star restaurants in New York, right? Michelin rated, and not one of them would let him in. And the guy didn't even look as sloppily as Fetterman. So he goes in, dressed up. He's got a camera, and they said, "I'm sorry." Even like lunch, he couldn't even get in for lunch at a New York fancy restaurant.
What do you go, like a Sbarro's or something, or?
No, he went to 5-star or 2-star Michelin rated restaurants.
Oh, okay. Sbarro's deserves one.
You know, the kind where you have to wear a tie.
1.5.
I remember when I was a kid and when I was younger, we would go out to restaurants when you go out dating. And if you didn't wear a tie, they would give you a tie from the coat check room.
Well, that's because you were late for work, is what it was.
No, it's like from that movie, As Good as It Gets with Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
That was great. Apparently, there is not a good relationship between Fetterman and his wife because Nicholson in the movie As Good as It Gets, where he hates dressing up, but he tells what's her face, "You make me want to be a better man."
Yeah. I love that.
And Fetterman does not apparently want to be a better man.
I love that line.
He's a loser.
She says, "How do you write women so well?" He goes, "Easy." He's like, "I pretend." He's like, he goes, "I pretend." He says, "I'm a man, but I pretend to remove all relatability and accountability." And there you go. Something like that.
I'm a man.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yes.
That was the anniversary this week of Mike Gundy's famous rant, by the way.
I'm a man, I'm 40?
Yes.
That's great.
Monday or Tuesday.
That's great. I hope when John Fetterman transitions, he'll be really John Fetterwoman. And let's be honest.
Oh my God. Can you even imagine him as a woman? Hold on. I'm
What's he gonna
sure that
transition to?
AI has
Sloth from
made
the Goonies.
John Fetterman as a woman. Let me see if somebody else has already done it.
Smash or pass? Here we go.
We did that last week. Remember?
I know.
We're not going to do smash or pass. It's like doing the Mount Rushmore.
I went back.
Rap is rap, hip hop is hip hop.
I was getting some people were mentioning me on what's called on Facebook. They were like, I went back to the show and I listened to this part, started laughing about the smash or pass part. So I went back and re-listened to it. I was dropping some gems, dude.
It was good. That was quality.
It was quality.
Quality,
That was
man.
hilarious.
I was listening on the way over to see Tony on Sunday.
Absolutely, man. Now, of course, the other big story is the NBA story. Did you see this story in the NBA tonight?
The Dame Lillard trade?
No, the Dame Lillard trade is like 2 days ago.
It's a funeral down here in Miami.
We'd like to thank the Miami Heat for
We
participating.
would like to thank the Miami Heat.
This is an even bigger story than Dame. The LA Clippers have signed free agent guard Josh Primo. It's not a basketball player. It's a hoagie, baby.
Right.
Remember, he got a 4-game suspension for exposing himself to women in San Antonio. Remember, he was the 12th pick from the San Antonio Spurs in the 2021 draft. Josh Primo. And then, they released him because there was an investigation claiming that he was exposing himself. Now, who hasn't exposed themselves to women on the Riverwalk in San Antonio?
Sounds like Antonio Brown all the time.
I haven't, but it's very revealing who the player is going to be.
Exactly. So then the Spurs got rid of him, suspended him. He was a free agent, and now the Clippers signed him to a 2-way contract, which means he's going to play for the Clippers and then spend the other part of the year playing for their G League team in Ontario, California, out there where the racetrack is. Is that the Inland Empire, Ontario, Robin, up there?
Yes.
Not the
Love the IE, baby. I only signed 3-way contracts. You're right, Joe Quills. I have a 3-way contract deal. And you know what that includes, right? Robin?
Mornings.
Yes, I do.
No. Come on, man.
I somehow or another, I have a feeling I know what this is.
You know what I'm saying?
Not a
Yes, I
Skyline
do.
retreat.
Of course, I can't find it, though.
Goodness gracious. Tony, seriously, it's on page 1.
Page 1? Page 1?
You need to study your homework.
You know what I like when I get a 3-way contract?
I don't know. What is it this time?
What is it?
I can't find it now again. Where is it on page? Oh, it's
Page
page 2.
1.
Oh, my God. Who the
Oh, my God. Here it is.
Everybody must eat.
No, that's not it.
I'm ready to go in my bedroom, grab my soundboard, just hold it up and play sounds.
Oh,
Lord, you know what I found though?
2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah, I know I had one
fine.
job.
I look at what I found.
By the way, shout out to Gene Forsberg joining us here late in the program.
Hey, what's up, Gene? How we
Not
doing?
Peter
Here, this is something special,
Hockey
folks,
knowledge.
and hopefully, I'm hoping
Yes,
this
look
is
what we
going to help.
got.
It's going to help Tony.
We found
But
this
look.
baby. This is a relic. This is a radio
Oops, wait a
television
minute. Oh.
relic.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
That's my old. Remember my old soundboard,
That
Luigi?
is-
It's the big 360 machine.
Oh, my
digital.
God. That relic.
It's
And
got
it
50
works.
drops on each page, and there's 10 pages. That means 500 drops right there.
That means
Bam!
500 times you will have to wait for him to find the drop.
No, that's funny. On that thing, I knew where everything was.
I know.
Now on this little puny thing, even though Robin puts pictures on it, I feel like those old people that have the phone. It has to have it has to have closed cap. I feel like Fetterman. You have to have closed captioning to be able to read shit. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's
I'm
so
excited.
funny. But that thing's so old. The newest drop that's on there is when Kennedy got shot.
Oh no! Come on, I got all the
No,
fresh
it's
stuff
Lamar,
in there, man.
Lamar Thomas is probably on there. Anyway.
Oh, just stuff on there. Seriously, I got the original Gladys when she did the.
I know. Let me turn it on.
Papi.
I, however, I'm not.
Papi, qué rico.
See, now that is the new one. She
Yeah,
recorded
but the
a new
original
one. The
one, she
original
did
one
live in studio with
She
us.
did live in studio, and
OG
it's so
version.
much better. Let me see if this is actually it.
Trevor, what do you want to talk about, bud?
You're fine.
I'm actually,
that's not
this is my last Friday night show. I'll be able to join for a while. Actually,
What?
I gotta do.
Now, Robin's hitting drops on the other
I know.
machine. Let's go to some of your
I
favorites.
don't-
Now, do you have any requests, dedications?
But this is, it
You
doesn't
come into our
match
house,
with
you should get you behind.
I
Chris
swear to
Lamar
God,
Thomas.
I just thought Lamar Thomas.
No.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I just thought of it.
Oh, wait, Robin just played a clip from The View this morning.
I don't know
What was that
where.
CNN with Anderson?
I didn't hear a
Cooper?
vagina crying. What happened?
Oh,
Hold on. No.
What? What'd I say?
Robin, what are you
No.
doing? Just play some shit.
Tony, I do not know where everything is.
It doesn't matter. Just hit buttons.
He doesn't know where everything is, Robin. He knows where nothing is.
Ay, papi, qué rico. Dame más. Sí, sí.
You hear the difference now? That's when she was in studio, sitting literally inches away from me.
And we'd shared between the two of us about a bottle of
wine, and then I had to. There she is.
The original Chris from Lacrosse.
Chris from Lacrosse, Wisconsin. Yes. Now this is this is the recreation.
It's not as good.
Over
the
the
original's
phone.
better.
You have to have it live and somebody right into a mic. You do things on the phone. Usually calling like a stripper service or a hooker. A real douche. That's another. Hit that one again, Robin. I missed it.
A real douche.
Yes.
I'm a man.
It's not that busy, man. It's not that busy.
This is the original. This is original time.
Oh, no. We suck again.
Yes.
Remember all these?
Keep going, Robin.
Okay.
Two chicks at the same time.
Listen to that.
Great ass.
Yeah.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Yes.
That's the fact.
Jack. Oh, there's the.
This wasn't this recorded from somebody that called in too?
This was somebody calling into the show, firing up a bong live on the air. You could hear the water bubbling in there.
That was.
How about them Cowboys? Oh, of course, that's always good. I needed that last Sunday.
See a broad to get that booty yakkum.
Smack 'em, yak 'em.
That was
Home got to be.
That was last Sunday at the Green Legion party. At the
Yes, it was.
party of Irving Friars.
Give me some more, Robin. Give me some more. Give me some more now. This is one of my new ones, though.
Who does that? Who has time?
But this is one of the new ones I had.
No, he's an asshole.
Mike Lindell, remember that? The My Pillow guy?
Now you're an asshole. You got that? You're an asshole, is what you are. No, he's an asshole. He's an ambulance chasing asshole. That's what you are.
You're going to love my nuts.
No, I mean,
do I
I'm
have
going to go buy 6 white pillows after he called me an asshole right now.
Yeah. I have a My Pillow right now.
There we go.
I have one. They're good, man. My Pillows are good.
Hey, guess who that is?
What up?
Jose.
Well, guess who that is?
Jose, are you still in the room?
I think he's gearing up for the last call. He was on there last week. What else do we have in there, Robin?
I got to go double check. Like, where the white women at? Come on, man.
I got that in here right now.
That's a classic one.
Yeah.
This is like taking me back to like when I was in high school now.
We may have to do like a whole show just playing their favorite sound drops. You know what I'm saying?
We used to do that, Tom.
We suck again.
When you were back in Philly, when the show would close, you and I would just go back and forth.
Yeah.
We just drop battle back and forth.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the best would be like, I put something new in there I didn't play it. Tony go, when the hell did you get that?
So,
drop back.
FYI,
yes, she did.
I have just looked through and I cannot find one single AI Fetterman that looks like if Fetterman were a woman.
Well, nobody's done that yet.
Somebody needs to do that.
If Fetterman were a woman, it would be Matt Geiger. I don't understand.
Nobody has done that yet. So somebody needs to get on that.
Ain't nobody getting on that.
Tony, do we have any stories?
We got to do.
Hey, Trev, we're going to let you go. Thanks for stopping by the other day, and congrats on the new TV. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, where's my list of all the sound?
Tony,
peace out.
See you, Trevor.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
I need
Jose.
Jose.
Got so much paperwork here now.
I need Jose.
What up?
AJ Lopez just said Jose from Norristown was invited to the Royals training camp.
No, that's a joke. See, it's because they're so bad.
Oh.
See, Robin, the Kansas City Royals. By the way, the Royals. I mentioned the Oakland A's, 110 losses, worst since 1916. The Colorado Rockies, Luigi, for the first time in their history, have lost 100 games in a season.
That's amazing.
You believe that?
They've had some abysmal teams too for a good run.
Yeah, but they've had some good teams too.
Oh yeah,
and you would think up there in that rarefied air, they should never lose 100 games. No, and then the Kansas City Royals, 100 loss season, but that's the third time they've had a 100 loss season since 2018. So we're talking about it's really, really been bad.
In the last, you're talking about in the last 5 years.
Yeah, 300 lost seasons.
Matt Raposa, we need to give you a bumpty bump because clearly you were not listening to the show because we've mentioned that multiple times.
What's that?
That Kapler was fired.
I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. That's breaking news in baseball. The first manager fired.
They may have just joined the program.
Yes,
right now.
which we like. We
I love Matt Raposo. He's out there in the Bay Area.
We love
keeping
you,
up.
but
He's up in Livermore,
hey,
man.
I got a multitude of bumps today. I'm just spreading it around a little
He
bit.
doesn't deserve one. He's a listener. He takes time out of being a caregiver
Hey,
during the day. Who do you care for during the day?
Do you know what Matt
Well, no, not really.
Do you know what Matt didn't do?
What?
He didn't end the show prematurely after minute
Exactly
14.
right.
That's what he didn't do.
Yes,
So
and
Matt
Scrapple
should-
Joe
you know
just
who
picked it
else
up.
Didn't do that. No one else did that.
Exactly.
No one.
I'm
That was
embarrassed.
just you.
By the way, yes, Grapple Joe just caught it. Robin has slurred. So if you had 1 hour and 46 minutes into this 2 hour extravaganza,
You are a winner.
you are a winner. We're going to send you a case of vodka. We first have to get it replenished from all the state stores being looted.
Yeah, actually, we are seriously low. I just used up the last Tito's.
Dude.
Tito's we have no more vodka.
No, look where I'm at, dude. That's all I got left, brother.
Black box. What's in the box? What's in the black box?
You know, that looks like, because the box is small, it looks like a Juicy Juice drink.
Yeah.
It is a Juicy Juice drink.
By the way, there's only one
Do
word.
you have a straw?
There's only one word to describe tonight's show.
Dumpster fire.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
One word.
I was going to excuse me.
There you have it. Now let's stand for our national anthem.
Tony,
Yes.
before the show ends tonight.
But I want to rip Mike Florio, though.
Where's
before the
Jose?
show ends.
Yeah, maybe
Where's
we still have
Jose?
50 minutes. So
Jose's not in there. I think he left earlier because Robin was ignoring him.
I didn't
And he was
ignore
saying
him.
what up to everybody.
I think he was in there before I had the major faux pas.
No, it was after that. He was saying,
Was
what
he?
up, Luigi?
Oh, okay.
What up, Kurt? What up?
I don't know what happened to him then.
I don't know either.
Well, somebody put up the bat signal.
But I want to remind people to tune in on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. for the Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock Show with Tony Bruno and the fabulous Philly Godfather.
Yeah. By the way, I went 12-4
Yes.
last weekend, Luigi.
Tony's percentage
really?
in
Straight up on my regular picks.
right. Tony's percentage after week 3 is 67%.
And you know what that is, right?
2 off of 69.
Yes.
It's winning.
That's
what
called
it is.
winning.
Winning.
And you know what we say here around here all the time when we talk about
I
football,
want
let's
winners.
see. Exactly right. I got that right here.
I'm basically,
I want winners.
I'm yelling at drops so you don't have to find them.
No, I'm doing them live.
Straight cash, homie.
But they are who we
thought they were.
And most importantly,
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
my lock percentage is still lower than Robin's BAC tonight. So AJ Lopez nailed that one too.
You know, if you think about it, though, you just mentioned, I want winners, and you come into our house. And for some reason, I just thought about the Bears. I just thought about the fact that how
everybody now, the Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. Everybody sing along with the Bears still suck. They really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck. Yeah.
it's just because they're like abysmal up front on both ends of the ball.
Oh yeah,
it's so bad.
It really is. It's shameful. I mean, it's not like they don't have any talent.
No, they do, but the problem is, they need a few linemen, both offensive and defense. They have zero secondary whatsoever. Their linebackers are, for the first time in a long time, non-existent. And their special teams are horrendous, man. They're just a bad football team.
Yeah, now at Soldier Field, they play the Bears Still Suck song just so the fans
You know
feel
what they
like
play now? They play taps every time they take the field. Every time the Bears take the field,
Actually, that's not one we have, I don't
We
think.
don't have taps in there because we're
I
not
have
a
it.
maudlin show.
I have it.
You got taps in there?
Yep.
Oh, no.
There's a guy, Tony, I was telling you, there's a guy who plays the trumpet every freaking morning.
On Broad Street in the subway?
By the dog park, right?
Yeah,
Every
down at 11th
7
morning.
a.m., no matter what, rain or shine, plays a trumpet. He was always playing something upbeat or something, whatever.
Yeah.
One Saturday, I'm walking Penny down there. This guy starts firing up taps. I turn around and went right the fuck home. I'm like, it's over. I'm like, we're
Well,
done.
he must have watched the rioting and looting the other night. You know what I mean?
No, this was like a couple months ago.
Exactly.
Who opens up with taps? Come on, man.
Hey, wake everybody up. Wakey, neighborhood.
Wakey.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes, I do.
You know what, Luigi? I think that when we go live with the new show, like that first week, I wonder, Avelo Airlines is having another sale. You should come down for that.
Silo's having a sale too. That's where I bought my beautiful.
Does everybody know about Avelo? Avelo Airlines is fantastic.
Yes,
they should really sponsor the show.
They should.
I would love to. Let's just see where the finances are at. So,
but Avelo Airlines, if you're listening,
but they're not in every city. For example, here in Fort Myers,
I looked up Avelo.
I don't care if they're
what.
I did look them up when you guys came down.
Yeah,
you mentioned that they were opened up a bunch of new hubs, other places, and I went on and looked at the airfare wherever they were going, and I saw they had Fort Myers and things like that.
Right.
It's like $38, dude. It's like nothing.
I know.
It's like literally nothing.
It's amazing. Avelo Airlines, if you are listening, we love you. We love the fact that you are obviously here in Fort Myers and that you fly to where we need to go up in Philadelphia area.
They go to Wilmington. Now, they're not going to major airports, but for example,
they go
if
to
you look at it,
which is
and they're regional. So, for example, the flights that they have in Florida don't go to LA. So they're not taking they use 737s and they're all good airplanes.
And they're nice, they're clean, and they're comfortable.
They don't fly them to LA and back where you have to wait if there's weather conditions and stuff.
But they're more comfortable than Spirit or Frontier. Their seats are definitely more comfortable.
It's not just a Southern airline. They fly up in the north. They fly to New Haven from Fort Myers. So again, they're not going to New York or Newark or
they're
the
not
big
going
airport.
cross country.
Right.
I think from here, the farthest you can go from here is...
No, you can go up to New Hampshire, I think.
No, from here west. I think you can go to Texas someplace.
You can go to Texas.
Austin, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wilmington, Tampa. If you're in Florida,
from Philly, it's a 15-minute ride up 95 to Wilmington. I'm there. I'm at the airport. I'm there.
I think from Wilmington, I think you can actually go all the way to Vegas.
I don't know. You go online, look at Avelo Air. But we already booked our Thanksgiving flights.
Yes.
We're locked in. And of course, like all these other discount airlines.
Are you coming down?
We're coming back for Thanksgiving, man.
Where you got to go see your sister up here too?
Yeah, I got to go see my grandkids.
Well, then we got to get together. Then. What the fuck?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll break some bread. We'll break some heads. We'll break some necks.
Some balls.
We'll always break some balls. You know what I'm saying?
We got to.
But Avelo Airlines, call me.
Exactly right.
Yeah, if I can, I'll definitely come down. But I'll talk to you off air at some point. We'll figure it out.
And by the way, Matt Raposa, they fly in Eureka, California. If you look at their map, you can see go on their website.
They go up and down the West Coast, and they go up and down the East Coast. Nothing connects nonstop yet. I'm hoping it's going to happen because I know that they fly into the Tri-Cities in Washington.
Yep.
So my daughter uses it to fly down to LA for work, and they're awesome.
Yeah. By the way, the Reds are laying the beat down on the Cardinals. They're still basically on life support, right? In the wild card.
They're just about mathematically limited. Not yet. I mean, everything has to play right in the scenario. That's the one thing I do like about playoff scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Is that when you have all these teams that are in it, right, and you're not mathematically out, and you can say, okay, well, if this happens and this happens, and then sometimes the crazy does happen, and that team does get in. And I'm not saying they're going to do anything, but it's like, for all the things to fall into place for one fan base, for it to finally happen for them, it's pretty cool to see, man. It is, Yeah,
no, absolutely. And now you got the Blue Jays beating up on the Rays. Obviously, the Rays have nothing to play for. They've clinched everything. Well, the Rays
they came out gangbusters.
Yeah, and the Rays, by the way, are the 4 seed, so they're not even the top seed because Baltimore won the division. They have home field throughout the playoffs in the
Which
American
is crazy.
League.
Think about that. I mean, because Tampa Bay comes out gangbusters in the beginning of the season. They were hottest team in baseball. Everything was going great for them. And then all of a sudden, here comes Baltimore and overtakes the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
They're the story of the year. With the way they've rebuilt that thing in record time, 110 losses 2 years ago.
Years and years of just putrid baseball, man. They were terrible. They had that one nice little run for a couple of years when you had Chris Davis smacking out 50-plus home runs. And he got paid, and then he got off the sauce, and then he couldn't hit $160. It was horrible, and he was done. And in fact, I was at Camden Yards, Tony. Fun fact: I was at Camden Yards to watch Chris Davis hit his last home run.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there on a random just whatever afternoon to go with the girl I was seeing. We go down to Camden Yards, and she goes, she doesn't know anything about baseball. And she goes, who's this guy? Is he any good? And I'm like, Chris Davis? He stinks. Next thing you know, gone. She's like,
yeah, I remember when they first opened. I remember when Mike Golick and I went to Camden Yards back when they opened an ESPN zone down in the what do you call it? What's the area down there in the water, Robin?
In Camden Yard?
Yeah, it's the damn it! I've taken you there multiple times. Baltimore, the Inner Harbor. Thank you. The Baltimore Inner Harbor. I mean, that place was bustling. Now it's scary to go down there.
No, they built it back up, Tony. They cleaned it up.
I know they did.
No, like during the day, maybe. But
anyway, I love Baltimore. It's a great place. Good crab cakes. I mean, that's where you go and get the great crab steak. Babe Ruth grew up there, yes. But here's the thing: the Baltimore Orioles. This is the amazing thing. The last time they've had a 100-win season, you know when that was?
The Orioles?
Yes.
1972?
Oh, 1980. 1980 was the last time they won 100 games. And this is their 100th year, and it's only the 6th time in franchise history that they've won 100 games. And obviously it came in the same week they clinched, with the greatest third baseman of all time, Brooks Robinson, passes away. To me, Brooks Robinson and Mike Schmidt were the greatest third baseman I've ever seen play.
I think and this isn't like a hometown bias. I honestly, truly believe that I think Schmidt was by far the best third baseman of all time.
I will agree with you in his era, but Brooks Robinson and Schmidt they overlap, but Brooks Robinson was older. Brooks Robinson,
if you go eras,
without a doubt, is the greatest third baseman of all time. And then there was an argument when Schmidt was playing, and the guy in New York was a good third baseman. What's his name? There was Schmidt, and then the guy playing third base with the New York Yankees during that same era, from the 70s to the 80s. Craig Nettles. That's it. Thank you, Ryan.
Craig Nettles, okay.
Craig Nettles was another great third baseman, and there was an argument during that time who was the better third baseman. And then when all was said and done and both careers ended, Mike Schmidt is the greatest third baseman in National League history, in my opinion. And Brooks Robinson was the greatest third baseman of all time in both leagues combined. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's just my opinion, but statistically, it's probably right there.
And you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying it's not like you're saying it was, some Joe Schmo and then against Mike Schmidt. It's Brooks Robinson, for Christ's sake, right?
And George Brett. I mean, there were a lot of great third basemen. You look at the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, back in those days, we had the Dodgers and Ron Cey and those guys. That era, there was so many great players at different positions who were great, and that's why the Hall of Fame. A lot of those guys never got in, because there were so many players ahead of them in the same era. The same thing, with Richie Ashburn. Richie Ashburn didn't get into the Hall of Fame when he played. No. Because there were so many other players that went first, and he had to wait, and then they finally put him in before he died. But he was a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, in his own way, he was a surefire Hall of Famer. The problem was that in that era when he had some of the icons of the game before him getting ready to come in. And then during that time, he played equally with a lot of juggernaut players that were amazing, right? And then he had, again, you just get kicked down the line. And unfortunately, he didn't pop off the page as some of these other guys did, and he had to wait. Eventually, he did get his due. It's a shame he wasn't there to see it, but it's, still, I mean.
And, listen, Chipper Jones was great. I'm not saying that they weren't great third basemen.
Listen,
I'm talking about the greats of all. Now, I'm 71, so I've seen a lot of third basemen going back to the 60s. And I'm just telling you what I saw. I saw Brooks Robinson play. I saw Craig Nettles. I saw Chipper Jones. I saw Eddie Matthews. And a lot of these others. I saw Brittany Murphy play third base once, but that was in a movie in New York that I was in, and I still get residual checks for it. You get it, Brittany Murphy? You remember her?
Yeah,
she was in the movie. I still get checks. I just got a $15 check.
Yeah, no, 20-something.
No, it was 24. Then they took out taxes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my first check, bro. My first.
Now, what's the new movie you just shot this week? Now, can you name it? Can you give us the plot?
Yeah. It's called 23rd Street. It's a mob movie. It takes place on Christmas Eve. It's like picture like Goodfellas meets Boondock Saints. Mm-hmm. And so
it was Irish dudes fighting against mafiosos?
Yes, pretty much, Tony. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
And what do you play?
Who do you play?
I play a guy actually named after myself, named Luigi, and I'm a collector for the.
What do you collect? Own collector? What do you collect?
I collect the
VIG. You collect the VIG. What do you collect? The VIG.
I collect money.
The juice.
Well, I collect money, so I got to come down. My scene, I got to go in. My whole scene takes place in like a doorway, right? Where like the doorway.
Did you shoot it on 28th Street, or did you have to go to Pittsburgh, like 10th and Wolf, the movie with Tony Luke in it? They weren't allowed to shoot it at 10th and Wolf. They weren't allowed to shoot it. They had to go to Pittsburgh to shoot 10th and Wolf, for God's sake. Yeah, Scrapple Joe says it's like Goodfellas, except with a $5,000 budget.
Pretty much. It's more like 25, but it's all right. But
oh,
no,
man.
So my I was supposed to walk it starts in the doorway, and I go into like this collections room where these guys count money or whatever. And I got this bag, and it's full of cash. It was really full of pillows.
Was it like the scene in Casino where the guy goes back to his mother and in the kitchen, and she's counting the money? And
I take it easy. Get a heart attack, right?
Take it easy.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to walk in there, and as soon as I get to the doorway, they're supposed to greet me by saying something, announcing who I am or whatever, and then I go into my dialogue or whatever. But I come down. I call. They say action. I walk down. The guys obviously didn't hear the director say action, so they're still sitting there looking at the money, counting the money. So they didn't see me. So I turned to the doorway and I improv. So instead of just like saying anything, I leaned against this metal door in the doorway like this, and I went like on the door, just really loud metal, and I said, "Buongiorno, dickheads. What are you doing?"
Did you really? Was that? Did you?
Yeah,
did
they
you just
kept
vibe
it.
in that? Was that not in the script?
They kept it. Yeah, they kept it. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, they kept it. They caught him by surprise. It's funny. I said, "Buongiorno, dickheads."
Now, does Joe Pesci make a cameo where he comes in and beats the shit out of you and then throws you into an open?
First of all, Joe Pesci's 80 years old. I would
trench right there near Bishop Newman High School where I went. There's a playground across the street.
Joe Pesci is 81 years old. I would beat the dick off of Joe Pesci. All right?
I would certainly hope so, for God's
He's
sake.
not doing that anymore. All right?
Yeah, the last call says that's a writing credit. You should get a writing credit on that movie.
I will.
Yeah.
I am getting a writing credit for that. It'll be fun.
Beautiful, man. Luigi's blowing up,
listen.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
I
he
knew
is.
him when.
Look, dude, I'll tell you this right now. For me, it's got nothing more than the fact of I get to sit home, turn on my television, and so can anyone else, and go, I know that guy in that movie. That's freaking
Exactly.
funny. And that's cool for me. And that, for me, is cool.
That is awesome.
Well,
That
great
was-
job tonight, Luigi. It was so fun. Joe Manueli, all the
Always.
people who checked in.
Always.
Another fun Friday. Don't forget, you can catch the replay on No Filter or
And-
Apple Podcast or
And
anywhere
Robin
else.
got a record bumpty bumps.
Yes, she did. The new record was set tonight. We're going to
I
call
did.
the Guinness people to
I
see if
think
that's
so.
if that's the official world record.
I admit it.
Robin,
It was.
You got crushed.
I did. I admit it. I gave myself a couple. I was embarrassed.
And then she had a couple.
And then I had a couple to make up for it.
Exactly.
And stay tuned for this right here. I don't know, like
The last call. Oh, no,
No.
that's coming up.
that's coming up here. The new Tony Bruno Sports Network coming
Yeah.
soon to your app wherever you are. It's not just going to be the Tony Bruno show. It's going to be a full 24/7 radio station.
24/7, yo. That's like a whole day.
AJ Lopez says Luigi's getting Oscar buzz during the strike.
Exactly. If it weren't for the writer's strike, Luigi would still be out there working the streets,
Dude.
working down at 9th and working at Giordano's in the Italian market, selling.
Listen, dude, I don't care. As soon as the picket lines went up and I crossed over like a flying Walenda. I was like, I'm out.
You better watch out for that inflatable rat. The rat that's coming there. You.
See, this
bro.
is the logo on the black
You like the
background.
logo, Luigi? You like the logo?
That's all right. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here.
I mean, the microphone looks like a menorah, but that's fine.
That's all right. Hey, it's Sukkot tomorrow night. It was.
Look at Robin. She's like, what?
It was Rosh Hashanah. We just went
Screw
through.
you.
We just went through all the Jewish holidays. You know.
Tune in on Sunday for
Sunday morning.
Stone Cold Lead Pipe
Stone.
Blocks with the Philly Godfather at 11 a.m. right
In the
here.
meantime,
And then next week, same time, same channel for Into the
Cheers.
Night.
Cheers, guys.
Robin, as someone once said,
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
I'm going to go to bed too. And in the words of John Fetterman,
Hi. Good night, everybody.
That works.
Good night,
Good night.
don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, and God bless America at this hour. it's still the greatest place on earth. Good night, everybody.
The 95, 95, 95.